We're live. Let's go.
Fuck it.
Fuck it. We'll do it live. Very low music today. Very low music. Where is the music today? What's up, guys? Young Bucks, Old Goats 105. I got my boys Tank and Hialeah Comic Bro in the house. What up?
Oh, no.
Oh, Ogre. What's up, Ogre?
Ogre, what's up? The invisible fourth member of the podcast.
Ogre, the lines are open today. The link is in the description. Anybody, including Ogre, want to call into the show? That includes the bum and his crappy 2 years of fantasy football league. Anybody, any of our friends or enemies, we don't care. Just not that guy from last week, right?
Hey, Michael Jordan sucks.
Oh, shit.
We're all Michael Jordan fans.
So we'll take some calls while we talk some fantasy football. We'll talk some sports. We'll talk whatever, dude. You can call in. Doesn't matter.
We know a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah. Bad advice. Maybe you could give us some advice.
And the show.
Typing this up. Call into the show. Link is in the description below. All right. And what's up, Steve?
Hey, what's up, Steve?
What up? So the first hour, we're going to be talking some sports. We'll be picking all the NFL games. We will be talking a little fantasy. And then the phones will be open the whole way through, like I said. And then I had some 9/11 stuff I wanted to get to. I saved it. I didn't want to use it last week, but I want to get into some of this later on in the show.
You're a
9/11 facts.
You're a gentleman.
I don't know. I try. Cheers.
Cheers.
What is that?
It's a Grolsch. Grolsch?
It's a Grosh?
It's a gross.
How is that?
Gross. It's
I like it, dude. I like the ones. I thought I was buying the one that has like the top with the metal on it.
Mm-hmm.
It just came like this, but it's pretty good. It's like a Heineken type of thing, something like that.
Never had one.
But you've seen them before, I'm sure, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
I just never had one.
Of course.
I had one the other day.
So yes, we did. We had some. Last week, the records were nothing to write home about. I was 8-7-1.
Oh, nice. You came up on above 500.
Yeah. You were 8-7-1.
Really?
Yep.
Wow, I thought I was under.
And Tank was 7-8-1.
Oh, that's a lot better than I thought, man. We were looking really bad after those 1 o'clocks.
Yeah, I mean, you would not have made a penny if you would have took our picks. Just for entertainment only.
I feel really good this week. I feel really the Swami.
All right. By the way, what's going on in that game? Anybody know?
I think it's 2017 Giants.
Okay. You had taken the Giants in that game, and me and Tank had taken the what the fuck what WFT.
Hey, now I hope they don't get a name, right? I hope they just stay the Washington football team, and I'll be fine with that.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I'll be okay with that. I think I guess it just doesn't live up to the expectation. Like when they changed the Indians to the Guardians.
Dude,
it's so whack, right?
Yeah, dude. Just stay Cleveland, the Cleveland baseball team, and leave it at that, dude.
That's a bad one, dude.
It's horrible. And the thing is, they do all these studies when they change names like that, or they pick names. That's a big old year-long thing. They do studies and focus groups and get people's opinions. And then they come up with the Guardians.
That's the best you had.
Yeah.
I wonder what the runner ups were, what the ones that didn't make it
Let's
were.
see if I can find them.
Yeah, they might leak that information, so it might be out there.
They used to give it. Remember, like the Marlins is the name, and then they would tell you, who was like a runner up or whatever.
The choices, they gave you the choices.
And there will be votes a lot of the time. But this is not a new team, so who knows, dude. Maybe they didn't want to have it out there that they were changing the name. Well, I guess it was known, right?
Yeah. Well, there's teams that have changed names before. I just can't think of them right now.
It's not super common, though, right?
No. But the Wizards. Remember, they used to be the Bullets, the Washington Bullets, and now they're the Wizards.
And that might have some negative connotations with crime in the area, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely.
I have this thing here where, like, I don't know how it was published December 2020, and I don't know how, like, accurate it is. It says below we came up with some possible suggestions, and then one of the suggestion is the Guardians.
So,
for Washington as well?
No, for the Cleveland. I'm talking about the Indians.
Okay.
It has Cleveland Spiders, Cleveland Guardians, Rockers, Rockets, Buckeyes, Naps. It was just those 6 that they had. But it's weird that the Guardians was actually one.
What happens more often is the change of city or from state to city or whatever. But the actual like mascot name it's not even. It's got to be far less common, right, than the city change.
Yeah.
The Supersonics is another one.
They went to Oklahoma,
but they switched cities.
Changed the city and the name. But the Lakers were the Minneapolis. Was it Minneapolis Lakers? So
yeah.
They did the city, not the name.
Right.
The Colts did the city from Baltimore Colts, not the name.
The Jazz. They used to be the New Orleans Jazz, which makes sense. And then they went to Utah. There ain't no Jazz in Utah, but
the comment section.
They should have gone.
Oh, hey, what's up? He's back.
Who?
Hitler.
Oh, dude, I don't see anything.
You're in the wrong comment section then, or no?
I don't know.
I'll tell you what he's saying. Dick, cock, penises, balls, and cum.
I can't see it, dude, and my screen must be frozen.
Okay, I'm sure he's gonna take that and run with it now. We'll see a lot more now.
All right, well, I'll get to it as soon as I can. We'll just ignore that for now.
What about the whole shit show with New Orleans and Charlotte when they were the Pelicans and then they became the fucking Hornets?
They were the Hornets.
Yeah, that was the whole.
Yeah. Oh, it looks like what? Oh no,
Giants.
Giants are up 23-17.
That shit is still confusing. I don't know if it's the New Orleans Pelicans.
Yes.
And the Charlotte Hornets.
Yes.
Are the Hornets again?
Correct.
They went from the Bobcats to the Hornets.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They were the Bobcats.
Yeah, it was the New Orleans Hornets.
Then
they became the Pelicans, and then the Bobcats became the Hornets.
See, I don't even remember. I remember the Bobcats, but I didn't even notice that they changed it back to the Hornets.
Yeah, it was a fucking shit.
I never realized that until now.
Dude, what do you think of Heineke? You think he's gonna be? He's gonna be a starter, or he's always gonna be a backup?
He's always gonna be a backup. He's a fill-in, dude. He's serviceable as a fill-in, but that guy, you don't want. Hey, we're making our plans around Heineke. He's gonna be the quarterback of our future. You're never gonna say that about that guy, but he's a capable backup. And Fitzpatrick gets hurt. I've seen worse. It just hurts. It just hurts everybody's fantasy. If even McLaurin's having a good day today, that's not going to be the norm, unless he had a really good quarterback. And Gibson, they take Gibson out and they put J.D. McKissic, and he scored a touchdown, and Gibson still hasn't scored. So it's a little bit of a nightmare.
I don't know, dude. I think Heineke, I think he was undrafted. He
Hmm.
just was
Yeah,
a free agent.
yeah. I think from Dominion.
Old Dominion, yeah. I actually have a friend that goes there now.
Where is that?
Virginia.
Okay.
Um, but dude, I don't know. I like the way he played. I saw him last year when he played against Tampa, and watching him today, I don't know. I think he was pretty decent.
He is. I like him as well, but he's just not the future. It's like we're going into battle, and Heineke's going to be our quarterback of the future. But as a backup, I think he's perfect for what he is. Remember, they drafted I forget the guy's name. I think it was the guy out of Ohio State. They drafted him, I think, like 15th, maybe 3 or 4 years ago. That he was Dan Snyder knew him since he was a kid, and the guy just didn't work out. Man, they cut him. That guy was supposed to be their future, and it just didn't work out. So it's not like they haven't taken a quarterback high. It just hasn't worked out. How do you feel about your first week in fantasy football? How did you like it? It's a little nerve wracking.
No, to be honest, dude, I guess since we're like all friends, I find it like it's more fun than like whatever. If I win, I don't. I win, whatever. I find it that it's very. It like tears you. For example, I forget what I was watching, but I had like a player on the team, but in the show, like in the podcast, I had picked the other team to win. So I didn't know if to celebrate the touchdowns or not, and I was like, "Fuck!" Like I didn't know what to do.
You got to pick your poison. Like
Yeah, yeah,
the player could do good, and they could still lose, and that's okay
right, right,
sometimes. Or the team could win, but the player does bad because you don't need him. You're going against them. So it's good because every game is important now, even the sorriest games.
right. Like
You
or
know?
like if you're a homer, like the Dolphins, I was going for the Dolphins, but I had Josh Allen.
Okay,
That's for this coming week.
right.
So it's like fuck, like I want Josh Allen to go off, but I want the Dolphins to win.
Yeah, it was Haskins. Yeah, Haskins, Steve, out of Ohio State. That was the quarterback that Washington took. But yeah, it does suck like that. You want the Dolphins to win this week, but you want Josh Josh Allen. You want it to be like a 55-50 Dolphins win,
Yeah.
and Josh Allen throws for 350 and 4 touchdowns, but he still loses.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the perfect way, right?
Yeah, it's funny, man.
You're gonna see it keeps going. It keeps getting like that.
But it's cool, man. It's like now I look at the fantasy, I look at players, I read
Hmm.
the little player updates.
You got to read the player updates, see if somebody's hurt, if they're
Right,
not
that's how
playing.
I dropped Judy.
That's how you found out about them.
Yeah, it's told me 15,000 Yahoo players have
Drop
dropped.
them.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit. I was like, fuck that.
Yeah, but you still have to go and see why they dropped them. You just don't
Right,
go.
right.
Don't just go. Oh shit, they dropped them. I'm gonna drop them to find out why.
But he was gonna be off for a few weeks, so I was like,
Yeah,
you could always pick him up again if nobody does.
or you could have just put them in IR and left them on your IR bench and pick somebody else up.
Oh, you see, I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, yeah. IR is for injured reserve. So if your player goes on, I don't know if he went on injured reserve, but once they have the little IR
R.
in red next to their name, you could just put them in that slot, and then you could pick somebody else to fill their space.
Oh, I didn't know that. And then
Yeah,
whenever you want to bring him back in, whenever he's ready, you gotta drop somebody.
you gotta drop somebody, right? Whenever he loses that IR designation, you gotta drop somebody so he could go back on the active. You can't keep him there if he's active.
Okay, that's cool. I didn't know that. You see, that's a lot of things. Also, I thought we were a best ball league, like
No.
because we talked about it, and since it was my
Mhm.
first time, whatever, I thought we were doing that, and I didn't set up my roster for the first week.
Gotcha.
I probably wouldn't have made any big changes. The one I probably would have done was I had Debo Samuel on the bench last week,
Okay. Yeah, he
and
went
he
off for
went
you.
off. Yeah,
But would you have started him?
that's what I'm saying. That's probably the one that I would have done, but everything else probably not. It would have been the same. So whatever, no harm, no foul. I didn't know.
Yeah, the thing about I've never done the best ball, but it almost takes the fun out of it. You don't have to do anything. You just draft and you leave them be there, and it doesn't matter because it's just going to get the best guys. This
Right.
way, you're going to see when, okay, last week in one of my leagues, I went up against Brady and Godwin and somebody else on that Thursday, and they went off, and I was like, shit, I'm going to get my ass kicked, right? I ended up going, my guys ended up going nuts. Well, no, you know what? No, I'm sorry. And on my bench, I had Gronkowski, and he gave me 30 points on the bench, which
Yeah.
don't count. So I was like, dude, I'm going to get my ass kicked. Luckily, the rest of my guys went off, and I ended up winning, but it sucks when you have points on the bench, kind of like
Yeah.
Debo on the bench.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's like, shit, I could have won just because of that guy. And I messed up, but whatever. It's fun. You want to do? Oh, he's back.
Nah, keep going, guys. Sorry. Having
You're
some
good.
issues.
What are you saying? If we wanted to do what?
Well, I was going to start on the picks until Randy came back, but we might as well do that.
Oh, okay. Hey, I was listening. I just couldn't get back in. What don't you like about Heineke? I know you said you thought he was a capable backup. Why do you think that? I kind of think, dude, that guy may be able to be a starter, man. Maybe
That's what I was getting at. Like I see like the potential in him.
I don't see it. I don't think he's the future of a. I don't see them being the long-term answer at quarterback. I think he's capable, and I like him as a backup, but I don't think he, you would want to be better.
I don't know. He seems to have. I haven't seen him a lot. I saw him in that playoff game, and I think I saw a little bit another time. He's tough. The arm didn't seem that bad. I don't know what he's done tonight.
He's a capable player, but I don't think he's gonna.
I think he looked good, man. He looked real good to me. He's definitely no superstar quarterback.
But I mean, dude, you have Fitzpatrick there. I mean, he's capable too.
Okay.
But at least this guy has some youth. Maybe you could get some more.
If Heineke was the answer, they would not have gone out and gotten Fitzpatrick. That's almost 40 years old, has been on 25 different teams, and he was going to be the starter. If he was the answer, that would not have happened.
But that doesn't mean he's not, because also it's good for him to have somebody like that around. Even if they thought, look at Tua, dude. How much do you think he benefited from having Fitzpatrick around?
But last year, Heineke had Alex Smith.
They could have kept him. He's probably a good mentor too. Definitely a good mentor. He mentored Mahomes for a little while.
For a year.
Yeah. So right now, Heineken's 26 of 34 for 225 and a tutty. That's pretty fucking good, dude. Jones is fucking ripping it up too. 20 of 25 for 215 with a touchdown. So that's
no turnovers. Huh?
Good.
No turnovers.
Let me show you guys. Hold on.
While I was watching, no turnovers.
Why am I not sharing the screen? Okay, here we go. Entire screen.
Dude, but some players, I don't know. I guess once they get that opportunity to come in because there's an injury, then that's when they decide that they can they shine,
Hey man, there's plenty of guys that never got a chance, for whatever reason until later in their career. And then, look at Brady. Nobody thought he was going to be the answer. I'm not saying he is. I'm just saying, He could be something. Here's the stats. Pretty good passing stats. No picks, at least. I don't see any fumbles lost.
Daniel Jones was looking good too today, man.
Look at the rushing by Daniel Jones, dude.
Dude, he had another touchdown, but it got called for holding. Dude, he would have had two touchdowns would have been rushing from him.
Dude, he has a long of 46. That's crazy.
Wow. He's getting close to 100 yards. Pretty tight ball game. So week 1, it was tough to pick those games. Underdogs broke a week 1 record when the Raiders covered and won against the Ravens on Monday Night Football. It was the 12th time in the NFL's 16-game seasons that an underdog it was the the 12th time in the 16 games for week 1. So 12 out of the 16 games, the underdog covered the spread. Or in other words, underdogs were 12-4 week 1.
It's crazy.
That's fucking nuts, dude. I think that hadn't happened in like 30 plus years. Last year, 2014, there was 11. In 99, there was 1 week that there was 11. And in 83, there was 11. And not just covering, they were winning. Did you guys pick up on that as you were watching the games, or not really?
I just saw that the games were a lot closer.
Yeah, it was very close game.
With the exception of the Packers, right? They got blown out, and that was embarrassing.
Have you seen Aaron Rodgers, like, I'm talking after? Dude, did he age like 10 years? He looks like he's like
smoking crack.
Dude, he looks like almost like a crackhead, dude. He's like he looks like freaking wasted, dude.
Like a meth head?
Yeah, dude. It's like, dude, the guy looks like he's beat down, dude.
You know what, dude? It's almost poetic when you see a guy in the off season start to make a big stink about things, and then he's like in a lot of commercials and doing a lot of shit. It's almost automatic. I'm not saying he's gonna have a bad season, but I almost, when that shit happened, I almost go, yep, that kind of made sense. You know, he spent all off season kind of bickering with the team and shit. And
it wasn't the big. Everybody's saying it was the biggest surprise, and I'm with you. I don't think it was that big of a. I didn't think it was going to be that bad, but I think New Orleans' defense was stronger than everybody was giving them credit for. But I wasn't as surprised with that, dude. You know what surprised me in that game?
Jameis Winston,
14 completions and 5 more touchdowns, dude. And
I'll admit it. I was talking shit about him. You thought he was going to do well in that game.
And he only passed for like 150, 180 yards, something like that. Those stats are totally crazy. And he did have a bomb in there. It wasn't like they were all short little dinks and dunks. He did have like a 55-yard bomb. That's what surprised me, dude.
That was crazy. All right, let's.
Who's their backup? Packers. Did they just pick up? They picked up somebody in the draft, right?
Jordan Love. They picked
Jordan Love, who actually played. I don't know how he did when he played in relief.
I think he threw a pick.
Yeah, I mean, he obviously couldn't do much because they only scored 3 points. I'm trying to pull up the spreads here.
Let's do it. Let's get these picks in so we can move on.
Okay. We got a caller, guys. You guys want to take a call before we do this?
Whatever you like.
Oh, look who's here, dude. Oh, my God. Hold the phones. Hold the phones. I got a treat for you guys.
I'm scared.
What up, Ben?
How's it going, guys?
What's up, dude?
What's up, man?
I wish I was as bearded as you two are.
We were about to do our NFL picks, but we'll put a pause on that to catch up with you here for a little bit. We got Ben from Central Utah Paranormal, and he's been a guest on the show before. And I asked him today, hey, we're gonna be taking calls. If you get a chance to pop in, and here he is with us. How you been, man?
I'm doing pretty good. For some reason, my computer's a little behind though, so I'll take my headset off for a second because I'm hearing stuff we've already said for some reason.
Okay, you look like a DJ right now.
You just get out of work?
I think I'm good now.
We're synced up right now?
Oh, it's our homecoming tonight, so we have our bonfire going, so.
Nice.
Cool, man. What is that exactly? So what do you got going? You got some friends over and stuff today?
No, so I have a pretty small town, right? So there's like 2,000 of us, so there's just 2,000 people chilling around a gigantic bonfire that you can probably see from space at this point.
Wow.
That is so awesome, dude.
We don't get that here.
Does anybody get into trouble at these bonfires usually?
Oh, it's a lot different now than it was when I was in high school. That's for sure. It's like our homecoming, we used to always play our rivals, which were the rabbits. So we'd go bunny bashing and bring back all these bunny carcasses and throw them on the bonfire before we started it.
What was your mascot?
The Eagles.
Oh, okay, yeah, Eagle definitely.
Not that easy.
Yeah,
I guess
that's
the Eagles.
funny.
Yeah.
And they're the rabbits. It doesn't.
I know
seem
you've
fair.
been busy, Ben, with work and stuff. But any investigations you've been working on recently since last time we spoke?
Yeah. So sorry, I don't know why my mic's lagging like 20 seconds. So I'm hearing what we say like 20 seconds after. It's kind of weird.
Wow.
Let me try this.
But
Hold on,
yeah.
hold on 1 second. Let me remove you. Do you think that'll fix it if I take him off and put him back on?
Give it a shot.
Hey, I tried removing you and putting you back in to see if that helped.
Here, maybe I'll leave the studio real quick and then I'll come right back.
Okay, that sounds good. All right. While Ben figures that out, again, Hialeah had the Giants tonight, and me and Tank had Washington. The next game I have here is Vegas at the Steelers, and the Steelers are a 5.5 point favorite.
I'm taking the Raiders.
You're feeling pumped up.
I think they'll keep it close.
That game surprised me too, dude, that the Bills lost.
Yeah.
I'll take the Raiders too, man. I think they're flying high. Even though Steelers at home, but still, you're getting 5.5 points. So they should be able to keep it close.
I'm gonna go with the Steelers.
Okay. Next up, we've got the let's do this one real quick before Ben comes on. We got the Bengals at the Bears. You can go first, Tank. The Bears are 3-point favorites.
I'm gonna go with the Bengals.
I'm taking the Bengals as well.
I'm going to take the Bengals as well. I mean, I saw that game. I don't think the Bears should be favored even at home. And the Bengals got an overtime win. Am I right about that one?
Against the Vikings.
Yeah. So, all right. Let's put a pause on the picks real quick and let's catch up. See if we can catch up with Ben some more. Ben, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I figured out what the problem was. We're good now.
Awesome.
Okay, cool. So you were going to tell me about any investigations or anything you've been working on recently.
Yeah, so we actually had one. Last month we went to the Gunnison Bend massacre site where it was in like 1876. There was a group of people that were surveying some of the area in the desert behind where I live. And it was kind of during one of the native wars, and they ended up getting jumped by some natives at that time, and they were killed. And we were able to, we believe, make contact with one of the females that escaped with some children. So that was pretty crazy. But
I knew nothing about this situation there. I guess it's a local.
I mean, we have some pretty. I can't remember if I told you guys about Topaz last time. Like, we have some pretty crazy places that are around where I live. But like Topaz was a Japanese internment camp during World War II. So like after Pearl Harbor was bombed, we actually, as the United States, took all of the Japanese out of their homes and put them in internment camps. Basically what the Germans did to the Jews. That's one that you'll never read in the history books, but it's about 60 miles from my house.
That's crazy, dude. Yeah, it's funny how some of those things kind of get brushed under the rug, so to speak, and you don't really hear about them too much.
It's still there,
completely.
Ben, the facility?
So now you can go and they still have the grounds. So there's actually some of the people around here. There's actually one home that we've been asked to investigate, but they're an older couple and don't want us to bother them during COVID and all that. But one of the homes, they're like mobile homes, was taken from there and placed in a town called Meadow next to mine. And they will smell like, it sounds funny, but they'll smell rice cooking. They'll hear people talking in different languages, which I'm guessing is Japanese. And just all these different crazy things that coincide with like their Japanese culture. And like, but so if you go there now, it's all the like concrete slabs where the houses were, like the hospitals and everything. There was about 10,000 people that lived there. And even like our county now, where I live, there's only like 11,000 people that live here. So it doubled our population during that 2 years that they were there.
Wow.
But on like a positive note, we have our first paid gig next month.
Hell yeah, dude.
So we're excited.
Let's drink to that. Cheers. Cheers for that.
If I had mine. But I'm pretty.
Can you talk about it?
Yeah, I can. So I was actually wondering if it will let me share my screen. I'd like to show you just a little like clip that we're going to be showing at it.
Yeah.
If you don't mind.
Yeah, if my technical abilities allow me to do it, I will. Do you see something that says? Okay.
Okay, I think you're going to see my screen now.
And I'm having my own computer issues today, which is nothing new for me.
Okay. Let me know if you can see that.
I don't see it yet. How does that work, Hialeah? Do you know?
Oh, here, I have to hit share again.
He has to share it,
and
then you gotta click on it.
Okay.
Oh, and I need to share the audio too.
Oh, now I see you.
Okay, now I just got to share the audio.
Yeah, whenever you're ready, I can put it on the screen.
Okay. Can you make it so you can hear my audio, or is that something I need to do?
Let's see. The audio, I do not know. I don't see.
Good.
I don't see something to do the audio.
Okay. I guess we'll just see if the audio comes through here.
Okay.
So this is the trailer that we've put together. It just has some snippets of our last maybe 7 months of investigations.
I don't think we're getting the audio, but we're seeing it. Is this on your YouTube channel too?
This one is on our Instagram.
Okay. And the Instagram for anybody out there is just central.utah.paranormal. Yeah, sorry, dude. My technical abilities are not the best, to say the least. But that's the IG right there. Just put a dot between each word, right?
Yep. Okay,
and they can check that out.
Go back over here. Sorry, I didn't have any sound, guys.
Heineken just made a nice throw, 27-26 in that Redskins game, by the way. So what else is going on, dude? What else have you been up to, man?
I got a new position at work, so that's nice. It didn't come with a raise, but it's a new position.
Well, sometimes that comes later, you know. Sometimes.
Yeah.
Ben,
so I spent
at the bonfire and stuff. Since you're like volunteer sheriff's deputy, right?
I'm a paid sheriff's deputy. That's what I do for work.
Oh, okay. And what's your new position now?
So I worked in the jail for the last 6 years. So I worked my way up as high as I could there, minus becoming a sergeant. So now I'm working as the prison transport officer. So I take people to prison, to the hospital, and then I also run the courtrooms. So I'm like the bailiff for the court security.
And
But
at these bonfires and homecoming events, are you there doing like security, making sure everything's keeping calm?
yeah, there's a couple guys out there tonight making sure things are going to go well for everybody. Hopefully, it's a lot calmer now than when we were kids because like now there's video cameras and.
Where is this? Like in a big field or?
So we have these really big softball fields, and right next to them is just a vacant lot that's just gravel. And so there's just like hundreds of pallets stacked on top of each other, soaked in gasoline. And then all the football players come out with these like tiki torches that are just on fire on the top end. And then they all take turns throwing them into it. And then you just watch it as it basically explodes.
Is there a little bit of the old drink going on out there?
I'm sure some people have their camelbacks on and they're not drinking water.
That sounds like fun, dude.
Yeah, it's a good night.
We don't have anything like that down here, I don't think.
Yeah, when you live in the country and no one gives a shit about what you do, it's pretty fun.
That is cool. So Ben, we have a Halloween show coming up soon. You still gonna be able to?
Yes.
For that one, you think?
I believe it was like the 29th. I have it on my phone, but yeah, we'll definitely
I think
be
so,
there.
man. We'll work it out. Cool, man. Ben, last time you were here, you told us a couple of the more spooky stories of things that you encountered. One was the hotel. Another one was a time when you lived in somewhere in California, right, for a little while.
Yep.
You got any other ones like that you want to lay on us?
So, let me see some of our last ones. Actually, I can tell you one of my favorite stories. It's actually one of my cousin's stories. Didn't happen to me, but I completely believe her. And my uncle was very, like, he's one of those guys that, like, if he lied, he would probably be struck down in lightning because he's just so honest all the time. But anyway, so he works as a cowboy. It's an actual position on one of the ranches here. They move cattle across the mountain range and take care of like huge ranches, like hundreds of thousands of acres. So he's always busy all year long. And this particular event was in the summer, and he had his daughter up there, is my cousin, and she's about, at that time, she was about 14. And he was like, hey, like, go circle back behind us, make sure we didn't miss any cows. Like, I'm going to go up ahead and start counting just to make sure we haven't missed any. And she's like, okay, Dad. And so she trots off back to from the direction they came and starts circling back. And she looks a little ways away, probably 600 yards, maybe a little less, because she could see that it was a person. And she couldn't see a horse. She couldn't see anything, so she starts riding closer. So she rides for a couple hundred yards and starts yelling. She notices that it's a woman, and she's like, hey, are you okay? Like, do you need help? And she starts riding closer. And then all of a sudden, the woman turns her head and stares at her and gets down on all fours and starts running at her.
Holy shit, dude.
Yeah. And so she, of course, doesn't pursue this. She's a 14-year-old girl. She's not carrying a rifle. She's not prepared for whatever this situation is. And so she takes off back to her dad. And she's like, holy shit, this just happened. This is what I saw. And he's like, oh, yeah, that happens sometimes. She's just like, what?
What is the explanation for this?
What do you mean it happens sometimes?
So the area next to where I live, so I live in Fillmore, if you ever look at Millard County on a map, and south of us is Meadow, and then it goes to Kanosh, and between Kanosh and Cove Fort, there's this little section of land that's called Dog Valley. It's called Dog Valley because it's believed to be the realm where a lot of skinwalkers come from and live that have been there for hundreds of years, believably. And the direct translation of, I believe the Navajo or the Paiute word, I don't want to get it wrong, but it was like Yi Naaldalushi, which is means he who runs on four legs. And that's why they named it the Valley of the Dog, was because of that. The encounters that people would have there. And there's lots of other. Let me see here. I'm trying to look in there. So I see, okay. So I see Fillmore, Meadow, and Kanosh. So it would be southwest of Kanosh if you just followed I-15 south.
Okay, so it's like not really on the map that I have there, right?
Nope, it's just southwest of there.
Okay. So I got Fillmore here. I don't know if I got the right place on this one. Anyways, this is sort of the area. And what is a skinwalker for people who may not know?
So there's a bunch of different definitions of it. Are any of you familiar, or did you watch the Skinwalker Ranch documentary?
I've heard about it, but I didn't see it.
Yeah, I've heard about it.
Okay. Like, so Skinwalker Ranch is about, if you were to drive there, like it's literally only like 80 miles northeast of where I live. But in order to get there, you have to weave through all these mountain ranges. So really it takes almost 4 hours to get there. But, like there's stories there from Skinwalker Ranch of the experiences that they had. But basically a Skinwalker is believed to be a Navajo medicine or a Navajo witch. The Paiutes took the Navajos as slaves. I don't remember how many years ago, but the Navajos cursed the land that Skinwalker Ranch is on, and it's believed that's why they have all of this strange phenomena. And it's believed that they sold their souls basically to some form of witchcraft or to the devil in order to obtain these powers to be able to transform into these different shapes and creatures. And people have had experiences with those. Things that have been shot and not bled, or ran away and had animal prints just to have the prints completely disappear or turn into that of a human. There's some pretty crazy stuff.
And the feds took over that land at one time, right? Or they
owned it? and the feds, they bought it. So basically the first people that owned it had Skinwalker type things happen, but they actually had more UFO, like, I don't want to say alien stuff, but like more unidentified phenomenon, that happened. And one of the first experiences that they had, it was this family in the early 90s. They bought this ranch, and all of a sudden, like way off in the distance, they see what looks like a dog, but it's really far away. And they're like, that is a big dog. And as it got closer, they realized that it was about 5.5 to 6 feet tall, just tall, not standing up, just on all four legs. So that's pretty damn high off the ground, because I'm almost 6'3". And it approached them, and it didn't seem to care about the owner or any of them. And as it approached it's like where they kept the calves, so this little fenced off area, it went over and started looking at the calves, and they're all just looking at this wolf like, what the hell is going on? And all of a sudden its head goes sideways, reaches through and tries to pull one of the calves out of like a 1 foot area, and it's wrapped around its head. And so the dad goes inside, gets a 30-06. No, first he gets a different rifle, He gets a less powerful rifle, something more powerful than a 22. I can't remember what caliber it was. Goes up point blank, shoots it, and it just keeps gnawing on this calf trying to pull it out of the fence. So his son goes back in and gets 30-06, the most powerful rifle that they had, and put that point blank at its hip or its stomach and shot. It didn't penetrate. It didn't bleed. It just kind of yipped and looked at him, and then it just trotted off like it was nothing. And so they followed it, and they followed these tracks through the brush, over a little creek bed. And mind you, there's no blood. There's no blood trail. All there is footprints, paw prints. And then all of a sudden the prints just disappear completely, like it goes to a certain point in the dirt, and that's the last print. And then there's nothing. So people have had experiences like that in Dog Valley.
And is this a place that I read a lot of these stories and I get them confused sometimes? It's your neck of the woods. You probably know way better than me that they found a lot of cows mutilated, but they were like, a lot of it was like surgical, almost like surgical, like incisions and stuff. Almost
like with scalpels, like a doctor had come down and surgically cut things out. And there was even some that like organs and things were removed, and you couldn't find more than just like a pin scratch. So how the hell did they suck these organs out without having to cut it more? And they didn't discover that the organs were missing until they cut them all the way. And some were seen just completely like skinned. And this would happen overnight or within a couple hours and during the day. But like some of the other experiences that people have had in Dog Valley over here, I had one experience, but mine wasn't necessarily skinwalker related. It was more of a what's the word? So sometimes when really bad things happen, they form this energy that I can't explain. And if you're in the right place at the right time, you can relive that event. You'll hear sounds like on the Civil War grounds. People will still see soldiers walking by, or they'll hear cannons going off when there's not, like physically, when there's not anything physically there. But I worked for the Forest Service for a couple years, actually like 5 years. But we were all super sketchy about that place anyways. We tried to stay pretty close together. So my boss would give you a specific place. Like, you're going to go there, you're going to go there, you're going to go there. You're going to be back in an hour. Yeah, that looks like the Dog Valley right there, actually. That's at least pretty close to it. But so I went to my spot. He's like, you're going to go up this road. You're going to find this little cabin. And to your right, or to the south of this cabin, you'll see a trail that goes up this hillside. I want you to go spray for this particular weed and come back down. Okay. It should have taken me 30, 45 minutes, right? So I get up there, I see the cabin. I'm like, I hauled the ass up here. I'm going to take a second and look at this cabin because it was pretty cool. Just like a small one-man cabin. So I get out, walk around it, look inside, and it's pretty tore up, like leaves everywhere. There's no mattress. It's just like a bed spring, like a little box spring that's still in there. And I get back on my four-wheeler and I go up the hill. And I feel like I'm just up there for a few minutes, right? Felt kind of uneasy, but that's normal for that area. And so I come back down. And as I'm coming down my trail, I can see the cabin just off to my side. And remember, I walked around this cabin. I just looked at it. There was nothing there. There was nothing in it. And as I'm coming down, the entire side of the south side of the cabin is covered in blood, like warm, dripping blood. Holy shit. I'm like, what the hell is this? And so I get to the bottom as quick as I can. And I have like a tank with pesticide on my four-wheeler, so I can't go super fast or I'll just tip over and then I'm just screwed, right? Because who put this blood here? And so I all ass back to my boss. And by this time, my boss is there, like it is at the truck, and he starts yelling at me, where the hell have you been? You were supposed to be gone for an hour most. You've been gone for 2.5 hours, and we haven't been able to find you. What? And so I tell him, like, hey, I went up, I did that. I did not feel like I was gone for that long, and this is what I saw. And then I hauled my ass back here. And they're, of course, like, like they know there's weird stuff that happens there, but they're like, bullshit, that's weird. I was like, get on your fork, like, right, come with me right now, because you couldn't take the truck up there because the trees were too close to the trail. So I get him up there, and of course There's nothing there. But I saw it. It was there. Like, I didn't go over and touch it. I didn't go say, oh, well, who the hell put this over here? You know, I was gone. But
That's crazy, dude.
so after that.
Have you ever tried going back there?
Yeah. That was the first year I worked there, and I worked there for 4 more. And you spend 3 months there from like May to the end of July. So I spent a lot of time there, and you always felt eerie, and you'd hear other people's stories and stuff. But ugh.
Did anything like that ever happen again, at least in that area, or was just that one time?
I have wanted to go back to the cabin during the daytime, but given that happened during the daytime at like 2 or 3 in the afternoon, so maybe that's not even the best time to go. But one of my partners, whose name is also Randy, wants to go out there in the dead ass middle of night and go see what we can see out there. And I'm like, you're crazy. Like, there's no way in hell you're going to drag me out there.
I'm not sure I would be up for that one. I'll leave that for the other Randy.
Right.
Hialeah, have you ever had any weird experiences?
No.
Well, surely one is the weirdest you've ever had. What would you say is the weirdest you ever had?
I was alone in a Publix. I was alone in a store, and I felt a breeze on my neck where there was no breeze. I felt something on my neck. That was about it.
I think that is sometimes associated with some sort of entity sometimes, unless it's the AC, obviously.
It wasn't the AC. I don't know what it was.
Fucking weird. And you were alone?
I believe there might have been somebody else in the store, but all the way in the back. At that moment, I was at the front of the store, and we were closed. And I just felt something on my neck, and I even turned around to look. It felt like something touched me.
Weird things, man, that you can't explain. I'd always love to have like an answer to some of these things, you know, like be able to like find out what was that, you know, what caused that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ben just reminded me of another story that my dad told me, of a family member of him that lived, or I don't know if they lived or they went to go work in the middle of a field, and I don't know if he was alone completely, or if somebody was there, but somewhere else in the field. And when they went to go to bed, something kept pulling the covers off of him. I'm gonna get the story. I'm gonna ask him to tell me the story again, and then the next time we're on, I'll tell it completely. But it was something like something kept pulling the covers off of him, like 3 times, and then at the end, the guy was just like, "Ah, fuck the covers," and he just went to bed. But so I'll get the story straight, and then the next time we're on, I'll tell it.
Okay, with some more detail. Ben told us a similar one with something to. I can't remember the exact story right now. I've been. You were with a friend, a roommate, I think, one time in California.
the green light.
Yeah, that's when I was in California. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have lots of crazy stories, but I can fill hours with my.
You're a man of many hats too, dude. Like the more we talk to you, the more things we learn that you've done, which is cool. Any experiences for me?
Yeah.
Is that what you're asking? Trying to think. I've had experiences with objects from time to time, like things being moved or gone for long stretches of time, and then they pop up again. But that may have to do with my job too and what I do. But even with personal things, Marina's grandmother would call those things gremlins, you know, that they come and they fuck around with things, you know, and they'll put something somewhere else, or they'll hide something or stuff like that. That kind of stuff's happened a lot. There was one actually that the story's not all that interesting, but what made it kind of really spooky to me was and I didn't let anybody borrow this, so I know it's not one of those. Like I had The Exorcist on DVD, and like it just fucking like disappeared from my room as an adult. You know, like I knew it was there, and then like a couple days later or whatever, I go to get it, and it was gone. That's one thing that happened. I mean, not that since
Marina threw that shit away.
probably that could be an explanation. My wife could have thrown that away. Does that movie scare you, Ben?
No.
At all?
No.
Dude,
But
I saw that recently with my daughter and her boyfriend. He had never seen it. They were just laughing.
the original.
They were just cracking up.
Yeah, dude,
I'm excited.
That's what I tell you guys. It's not as scary as it was at the time.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that was terrifying. I remember my mom actually walked out of the theater when
People
she
were terrified when that movie came out, man.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of hoopla too, and like, you know, they would put the people passing out, you know, coming out or throwing up out of the theater. I still think it's scary, dude, to this day.
I do too. I think it's I don't know if it's scary, but it's definitely unsettling.
I would say when you experience it for real, not necessarily a possession or seeing something completely like that, but I've seen stuff like leave houses, and it's crazy. So I guess, do you mind if I tell you one more quick thing? Then I got to go. My babysitter's
Of course.
going to have to leave here in a few minutes.
Dude. Yeah.
So,
tell us the story, and I want to ask you one question after if we have time. So go ahead.
Okay. So one thing not a lot of people know about me, because I don't talk about, I guess you could say my beliefs or my religion. So I grew up Mormon. I live in a Mormon community. I live in Utah. Hello. But so I served a mission for a couple of years. And where I went was actually in an area around California. And people would mostly just make fun of us all the time. They wouldn't really talk to us very often. But it was okay. It was the life I lived for a couple of years. And people would just come running out of their house sometimes and be like, hey, there is something in my house. Can you come say a prayer, or can like you do something? And within our religion, we call them blessings, right? Similar to what you would read in the Bible, I guess you could say. And so I did a few of those. We'd go in and say a blessing on the home. And one particular day, this lady came out and she was like, something's wrong with my dad. There's something in her house. And I had just gotten a new missionary that was living with me. So I was kind of teaching him how to go around and how to talk to people. And so I have this new guy with me that has no idea what's about to happen. And I've had like other instances, but nothing quite like this one. And so we go inside the house and she's like, something's up with my dad and he won't come out of his room. And as I look upstairs, I can see what appears to be a black mass that's kind of outside of his room. It didn't look like a person. It didn't look like a human. It didn't have color to it. It was just a black, cloudy, dense mass is the best way I can describe it. And I was like, okay, I was like, I don't want to freak you out, but there's something definitely in your home. Like I can feel it and I can see it right now. And they were like, well, what do you see? And I explained what I saw. And they're like, that's what we see. And they're like, we don't see it very often, but that's what we've been seeing. And so I was like, okay, well, let's say a blessing. And one of the weirdest and craziest things about blessings, when there's something bad, it tries to suffocate you and make it so you can't speak. But anyways, I completed the blessing. And as it left the home, it broke the blinds, just went right out there, living room blinds, and just exploded. And I've never had something like that again.
Ben, I'm gonna put up your before you go. I was trying to do it on the screen, but my computer. I was gonna share your Instagram here with everybody. I did want to ask you this before you go. I don't want to get into like religious stuff or anything like that right now. I know.
Yeah, no problem.
You don't get into that too much, but I did want to ask you this, and I know this is mostly based on the Catholic religion. Do you believe in possession?
To an extent, I believe that what you are surrounding yourself in can become you, but I have personally never witnessed a possession. I have witnessed evil things influencing people to do worse things. And then after these blessings have taken place, those things leave and that person becomes something completely different.
Yeah, I know. Tank told us one time about a story about his dad and an issue like that, and he did something similar. By the way, I have his IG here, guys. Give him a follow. He's always got interesting stuff on his page. He will be back on the show again soon. He's a musician too. He's got some funny music on his page, which I always love when you do those with the alien face. Those are fucking hilarious, dude. Ben, I know you got a haul, dude. Thank you for jumping on with us for a little while and catching up, and we'll see you soon, man. I want to have you back soon when you have some time.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks again, guys. It was really good to see all of you.
All right, brother.
Easy.
Okay.
Take care, man. See you soon.
Get back on the football.
All right.
Be well.
Yeah, that was cool, man.
Yeah, it was a nice surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we got a final according to Stone Cold Steve. Washington beats New York.
Oh shit.
30-29.
Good game.
Washington was favored, right?
Yeah.
So Hialeah gets that one right, and we get that one wrong to start the week. Do you guys believe in possession? Before we get back to the football?
No.
I do.
No.
I believe
it's a religious thing.
It is, dude. And I mean, and the Catholic religion actually has people dedicated to exorcisms and stuff, if I'm not mistaken. I think there's a mental issue at hand too in a lot of those cases, right? Like the person, is susceptible maybe to that sort of thing.
What Ben said was pretty interesting though. That what you're around is what you become. And you become influenced.
That. Well, I believe that.
You are who you hang out with.
They say, I think eventually you become like the 5 people that you hang out the most with, you end up becoming like a
hybrid.
Yeah, thank you. I was looking for a word. That's a good one. You become like a hybrid of those 5 people. So like, if I go and I hang out with 5 baseball players all day, I'm probably going to start playing baseball, right? I'm probably going to start watching baseball, and I'm probably going to start talking about baseball, just to give you an example. What do you guys think that's true?
I think people rub off on each other, definitely.
Yeah.
Even their mannerisms, the way you speak, the words you use.
100%.
Yeah.
Sometimes I want to rub people off.
That's what she said. Another thing I think about possession, guys, and then we'll get to the picks because we got a long way to go with the picks. We only did like 3 games. If it's like a real thing, why haven't we heard of like Dwayne Johnson was possessed by the devil? LeBron James got possessed by the devil now. Why haven't we? I always look at famous people, right? because they're in the public eye, and we know about them a lot. You may not know about regular, ordinary people. Like I don't know. There must be a famous possession case, but like, do you guys know of any?
Manson.
Manson? I don't think there was any possession there.
He's just fucking crazy.
Yeah, crazy. Lots of drugs.
Bruce Jenner, Kanye West, maybe.
But they're not possessed.
I think we're just naming all fucking crazy ass people.
You're naming crazy people, but I don't think there's been any like.
Maybe that's the form of possession. I heard supposedly Kanye West has a lot of mental stuff going on.
Yeah, he definitely has a lot of mental stuff going on.
How do you know it's not possession?
God, I don't think he's ever spoken in tongues, and
Is tongues like a dead giveaway?
Levitated.
If you speak in tongues, dude, that's like a fucking big sign that you're possessed. Throwing up like pea soup, 100%.
What if you've eaten pea soup?
Well, still, you got to look at it.
360 head.
If your head turns around 360?
Yep, that's dead giveaway.
If you walk down like a spider down the stairwell?
Spider walk down the stair, 100%.
Taking the piss in the middle of the dining room?
That can happen, dude, to the best of us. I'm not going to say.
Shoving a cross up.
Crucifix, not a cross.
100% crucifix to the crotch area. You got to look at that.
The bed lifts up, and you can see underneath it. Is it David Copperfield, or are you possessed?
If they tell you your mother sucks cocks in hell, he does. That's a dead giveaway.
You're not my mother. Oh my God.
Demi.
I'll tell you one thing.
Demi.
Why you do this to me, Demi? Another thing that a lot of young people do when they see that movie is what you said, Hialeah. They will laugh. But a lot of those young people, I've also learned, I'm not saying this is the case with the young people you saw the movie with, they use that as a defense mechanism when it is kind of fucking unsettling, but the special effects are not that great,
Hey, I do that when I go to Halloween Horror Nights.
Yeah.
I start yelling when I go into the haunted houses. I start and all this, but I'm taking a shit. But I'm acting it out that I'm not, and I am, and I'm not. I'm having fun. So yeah, I can see that.
Well, I notice whenever I scare you, you laugh.
I always laugh, but
whenever I startle you,
you startle me, and one day you're gonna give me a heart attack, and then we're gonna see who's laughing. We're gonna
then we're gonna see who's laughing.
We're gonna see who's laughing now.
That would suck, dude.
But anyway,
because it's a cardiac arrest in the warehouse.
That would suck, man.
All of those movies still scare me, so they're still creepy. I like those suspense ones, honestly.
Yeah, The Exorcist is scary.
It's still creepy. It's still creepy to me.
Let's get to these fucking picks, guys.
Wait, the thing that gets me about The Exorcist, you want to hear what gets me about The Exorcist?
Yeah, go ahead. Fuck it. Exorcist time.
The soundtrack.
No. Well, the soundtrack is that I forget what it's called. Tinklier bells. I forget what it's called. Anyway.
Tinkerbell.
Max van Sydow, right? The guy that plays The Exorcist. He just died, I believe, last year. He was like 90, 80s, in his 80s, 90s. He also played Ming the Merciless. He was in he was in a ton of stuff. But anyway, he died at, let's say, 90. The Exorcist came out in 74. He looks like he's 90 in the movie The Exorcist, but he was actually 40, 45 years old.
You're talking about the old priest.
The Exorcist, yeah.
We need a young priest.
What was his name?
No, the young priest is the priest. The guy that's the actual exorcist is the guy that comes, the old dude.
What was his name?
You look at it, he just died last year. He was 9. Let's say he was 90. That movie came out almost 50 years ago.
I think he was younger than the young priest.
Exactly. But he looked like he was 80.
Makeup. There was a lot of makeup involved too.
That's the part that gets me.
That's the old Austin Powers. Is it Austin Powers? Where they say we need a young priest and an old priest?
Something like that,
Yeah.
All right, let's get into the picks.
All right. Let me pull up the picks again here if I can. My computer. Jesus Christ, this computer, dude. Is this where we're at? I don't even know where we're at, dude, but we're picking the Bengals at the Bears.
I think we already did that one.
We all went Bengals.
We already did that one. Houston, Texas.
We're at the Texans.
There we are. Thank you, sir. Texans at Browns, and we got a big old point spread here. We've got the Browns favored by 12.5. This is surprising because, as it says on your screen, Tyrod Taylor had pretty good game. The Texans overall had a pretty good game.
They won.
And, yeah, dude, and they're double-digit underdogs. I understand the Browns gave the Chiefs a good fight, right, and all that, but you know what? If I can go first, gentlemen, here.
I think you're going to pick for all of us.
I'm going Texans here because I think they're going to be able to not get blown out. Let's just say that.
All right, next.
You're next.
Next game. We're all in.
We're all in agreement there with that one?
Yeah.
But you know what I always learned with this, dude? Rest in peace, my old original bookie. Back in the days when you used to have to go to visit somebody in person to place a bet, he would always tell me, man, when it looks too good to be true, dude, it probably is, man. Just watch out. You know, I wouldn't bet the farm on it, but it certainly looks like a high point spread to me.
When you, nowadays you say you don't have to go see them in person, do they still come in person and break your legs?
Well, they just take it from your credit card nowadays. You got to put it up front.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure you could still do some old school, you know, Sammy the Bull Gravano style betting and stuff. And yeah, they will. I never tested that, you know. I never said, let me see if it'll come break my legs. I always paid my debts like a Lannister. This is the next game, guys. Los Angeles Rams at the Indianapolis Colts. The Rams are favored by 4. Who's up?
I got the Rams, dude. Stafford looked good.
I do as well. I did like the Rams. I think it's going to be a good game. And you know what? The Colts might even cover. But, dude, Stafford, you know what? Stafford looks happy in that offense, bro.
Yeah.
He seems like a young buck in that offense, like he's rejuvenated. He's got a ton of weapons on that. And then they got the freaking defense to boot, you know? They got a lot going on.
Dude, he was slinging it, dude. It was like, you know when they say he put the Superman suit off? I guess taking off the Lions uniform is the equivalent of putting the Superman suit on. Yeah. I mean, even though he used to throw it around a lot there, but
he's got a complete team now, man.
I'll tie it into Ben, dude. That Lions team became always the ghosts of their former team, dude. Always last minute letdowns, weird calls going against them. You know, like all kind of crazy shit would happen to them all the time at the end of games. You know, so maybe there is ghosts in the NFL. So we're all in agreement there. I guess we're all taking the Rams. Okay, near and dear to some of our hearts here. The Buffalo Bills come to town after losing at home to the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they are favored by 3.5 at the Miami Dolphins. I think you're up first on this one, Hialeah.
No, you could take this one. This one's yours.
All right. I there's two things I don't like. I don't like home underdogs, and I'll take the underdog if you're giving me points at home usually. And I certainly don't like the Miami Dolphins in early in the football season at home with the hot weather from a team either from the West Coast or from up north coming down. And I know it would be really hard for people to think that the Bills could be 0-2 and that the first place Miami Dolphins could continue and be 2-0. But that's exactly what I'm saying is going to happen here. I think the Dolphins will not only cover, I think they'll win this game.
I'm with you.
I'll stop short of making that my lock of the week, though.
I'm with you. I don't see the Bills at 0-2, but this is a conference game. They're rivals. I'm not saying the Bills are going to lose, but I think it's going to be a tight game, and I think the Dolphins it's going to make it close, and it's going to be a bitter fight to the end. I'm taking the Dolphins to cover.
Do you think they'll win?
I wouldn't be surprised if they did.
You think they open it up a little bit, maybe?
That would be nice. But no, I don't think they will.
No. Keep it close to the vest.
Yeah.
All right. And this is going to be Tank's lock of the week, and he's taking the Dolphins.
No, I'm taking the Bills with my lock of the week, dude.
Oh, my God. Are you serious?
Yeah.
You're doing that just to spite me.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
No, Hialeah, I respect this decision.
So you're taking the Bills?
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we've got New England Patriots. They're licking their wounds after that last-minute fumble that secured the victory for the Miami Dolphins. That was Xavier Howard on the play, and that guy just seems to make plays. Not all his plays. I'm not gonna say they're always when you need them, but that one was 100% forced fumble recovery. That was one where we needed it, sealed the game. It was like a game-winning home run, basically, what he did there. I'm not sure who's first, but the Patriots are favored by 5.5 at the Jets. Jets didn't look great.
You want to go,
week.
Tank?
Yeah, I'll go first. I'm gonna take the Patriots, dude. Dude, Macaroni Jones looked fucking great, man.
That was what my son named them, Macaroni and Cheese Jones.
Yeah. Dude, Aguilar looked nice.
They didn't lose because of him, dude. If their running backs don't fumble, they win the game.
Right.
Let's be honest, right?
Right. I'm going with the Patriots, dude. They're gonna cover. They got this.
I'm gonna take the Jets.
You're a brave man, dude.
You think they're gonna win, or you think they'll keep it close?
I don't think they're gonna win, but I think it's gonna be a close game. It's another divisional game. Those tend to be tight. I don't think it's gonna be high scoring. It's at the Jets, correct? Yes, at the Jets. I think the coaches they're gonna play hard for this coach. You know, maybe towards the end of the season, I could see them. You know, kind of like. But now at the beginning, they still have hope. I'm gonna go with the Jets to keep it close.
I already picked the the Bills to lose. It's going to be hard for me to think that not only are the Patriots going to lose, not only are the Bills going to lose, but also the Patriots. So, even though I'm not their favorite, yeah, they got to win by 5.5. I'm sorry, Hialeah, you took the Jets?
Yeah, I took the Jets.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with Tank on this one. I'm gonna take the Patriots. I think they'll cover and they'll win easily. It'll kind of be like a coming out party for Macaroni and Cheese Jones. That's what I'm picking here. All right, moving on. The game I'm looking for is the Eagles. Where are they?
Where is that game?
It's the San Francisco 49ers at the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, it's the next game up.
Yeah, why am I not finding it? Did I pass it already?
I didn't see it.
Oh, here we go.
Okay.
Niners are favored by 3.5 at Philadelphia. Now, they had an impressive game.
Who?
Oh, both teams, actually.
Yeah, both of them did.
If you think about it. Who's up here?
I'll do it. I'm taking the Eagles. I don't think the 49ers were impressive, but they couldn't put away the Lions, and the Lions almost covered at the end. They let the Lions back in the game. They did lose. Who did they lose? Ayuk didn't play, or he did play, got 0 freaking touches for the 49ers. The Eagles look good, man. I'm gonna make this my lock of the week. I'm gonna say the Eagles over the Niners, or at least the cover. But I think they win.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts was balling, dude. He played really well on the ground, in the air.
I like Miles Sanders, Devontae Smith. They look good. Their offensive line looked good. Their defense held, even though it was the Falcons, that you would expect the Falcons to score more than 6 points.
What a team that has never recovered from that Super Bowl. Huh?
No, dude, never. And probably never will.
No.
They got to get rid of everybody on that team to start.
Dude, I saw a commercial with Matt Ryan.
I did too.
And it was like cool as ice or some shit like that.
It was a commercial that they did with Ice-T and Stone Cold that they were.
Yeah.
I can't even remember what they're selling, but the whole thing is, cold stuff. So they have Ice-T,
Matty Ice.
They have Stone Cold, and then they brought in Matty Ice. He was such a dork.
Dude, Matty Ice, is that supposed to mean he's like good in the clutch? Isn't that what ice means?
Yeah, allegedly. He was Matty Hot in that Super Bowl.
Yes, he choked so bad. I thought that commercial was so funny.
So who are you picking based on that commercial?
Oh, dude, I'm going Eagles, man.
We are in agreement there. Again, home underdog. Why is there so many home underdogs, dude? Let's take a look. Washington was a home favorite. Steelers were a home favorite. Bears were a home favorite. Browns were a home favorite. The Colts are a home underdog. The Dolphins are a home underdog. The Jets are a home underdog. And now the Eagles are a home underdog. I would say most of the time, pretty good. Even though I know last week we just talked about it. We talked about all these home underdogs. Actually, this makes my point. A lot of home underdogs won last week.
Mm-hmm.
So what? They're not. It doesn't look like they're adjusting for what happened last week on these lines, right?
No.
All right. Next game, guys. We've got the New Orleans Saints at the Carolina Panthers. The Saints are favored by 3.5. And I'm trying to find this game. Here we go. We talked a little bit about Jameis Winston and the Saints' performance. The Panthers.
3.5.
I got 3.5. What did I say?
I got 3.5 as well. But there it says 3, so we're not going by that.
Now we'll go with the 3.5 that we have on the original sheet. They might have updated this, but we'll go with the 3.5.
Okay.
Whoever wants to go first, have at it.
Dude, I'll go Saints after that performance. I got to. And I got the Panthers.
I'm going Saints as well. I don't think Darnold has it in him to go against that Saints defense, even though they did lose a couple of starters for this game.
And again, this is another home underdog.
Yes.
I think this is a well-deserved home underdog, though. Here's the crazy thing about the NFL, though. You'll see the exact opposite from a lot of teams, right?
Mm-hmm.
In week 2 that you did in week 1. You'll see. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen here. I'm picking the Saints, but we've probably seen it plenty of times before. Where the Saints will come out and they'll lay an egg in a game like this. You know what I mean? Not a team that did great and a team that it'll completely flip flop for whatever reason. But
this is a divisional game, so they probably wouldn't look past this team. Even though after they're coming back from the high of beating the Packers by so much. This is a divisional game. I don't think they're just going to look past the Panthers. It's an important game for them.
Were you surprised that Jameis Winston ended up being the starter here ahead of Taysom Hill?
Not at all.
I mean, I got to say I was surprised based on the salaries. I think Taysom Hill had like a $20 million contract. And I think Winston was like a couple million or something, if I'm not mistaken. I was surprised just by that. I get caught up in those salaries sometimes.
Yeah.
And how teams kind of
Dude, at the end of the day, Winston is still, whatever you say, he's still thrown for 5,000 yards in a season. I know all the interceptions. He was still the number 1 overall pick, so the talent is there. And then he sat behind Breeze, and you didn't hear a peep out of him for a whole year. You know, he was humbled. I'm not surprised at all. I'm not surprised.
Where's Mariota? Is he still in Oakland?
He's in Oakland.
Las Vegas, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Vegas, yeah.
That was the big debate, remember? Like who's the best quarterback in this draft?
He actually had like a 30-yard run in that game on Monday. Yeah, exactly. It was Mariota and Winston.
How did he end up playing in that game?
He only played the one play, I believe, and he got like a 30-yard rush.
And why was he in there?
He came in for that one play, and I guess they knew it was a designed run, and it worked.
Okay, so it wasn't like because of injury.
No,
They used them like how they used Brissett.
Jacoby?
Yeah, for those first downs or those 4th and 1 or 3rd and 1s.
And they used it was almost like the way the Saints used Taysom.
Yeah, I thought that was curious bringing in Brissett for those 3rd and 1s. I don't know how long you're going to be able to fool people with that. I guess they're just protecting Tua.
Yeah, and the
Tua,
pile.
Nigga,
And Brissett's a big guy. Brissett's a big guy.
Oh, dude, I saw a picture of them standing next to each other. It looked like Tua was like his son or something like that, dude.
Yeah.
It was pretty shocking. All right, so we're all on that New Orleans Saints train. Next game on the slate, Denver Broncos are at the Jacksonville Jaguars, and we have the Denver Broncos favored by 6. We talked in the pregame how Jerry Jeudy is going to be out. For all you fantasy players, if you have Cortland Sutton, that you're probably going to get an uptick there from him and some of the other guys. He'll be out multiple weeks. Trevor Lawrence had, I believe, like a couple things that had never happened to him before happened to him. Like he hadn't lost a regular season game in a long time. He hadn't thrown. Did he throw multiple interceptions?
I believe I don't remember. I believe so, but I'm not. I think he did. I think he threw
3.
3.
I think that hadn't, like both those things separately hadn't happened to him since college. Maybe never on the interception side.
The wins was from high school.
He hadn't lost a regular season game since high school.
Yeah.
Get used to it, buddy. That's all I have to say.
Welcome to the NFL.
Yeah. I think there's going to be, I'll say this. I liked Trevor Lawrence coming out. I talk shit about the Alabama quarterbacks a lot. I will say that there's a lot of similarities there with my my critiques of Alabama players coming into the NFL. If I'm going to critique them, I have to critique Clemson players as well. They're kind of in the same boat where they play with a lot of great guys. They're always on the best team. They're always overmatching. And maybe there's a little bit of that, and there's going to be a learning curve for him. I do think that guy's going to be a fucking baller, like, for sure, when the time comes. But I'll take the Broncos here. I think there's still learning curve left to be learned for them and Lawrence.
I'm taking the Broncos as well.
We're agreeing way too much.
I'm going to take the Jaguars.
Don't let him pressure you, Hank. Pick who you wanted to pick,
I mean, he picked who he wants to pick, and I'm not pressuring him.
Yeah, but the minute you say that, he goes against the grain.
I like it, dude. When people go left, I always go right, dude. I find myself doing that. It's not a bad strategy.
When they zig, you zag.
Exactly. Here's the next game. Minnesota Vikings are at the Cardinals. The Cardinals are favored by 3.5.
I'm taking the Cardinals. They look good, and I wasn't impressed with the Vikings. And it's at the Cardinals. I'm going with the Cardinals.
Refresh my memory. How did the Vikings game go?
They lost in overtime to the Bengals.
There you go. Okay. So if that happened to them, what's going to happen to them at Arizona?
I think the Cards are, dude. The Cards he has a lot of weapons on offense now, dude.
Right?
God, he's stacked, dude. Just the running backs are both capable. He's got 4 receivers. He's got Hopkins. He's got AJ Green, which I don't think he's a shell of himself. But then they got Kirk, and then they got the rookie Rondale Moore. They're just, he's got a great receiving core, and the defense is sneaky good.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm taking the Cardinals.
I'm going with the Cardinals too.
Okay, Matty Ice is probably having nightmares as we speak right now of Tom Brady. He gets to face him again. This time, Tom's wearing a Buccaneer uniform, and I wonder if this is the first time they play each other since that Super Bowl. The Buccaneers are favored, big point spread here. They have 12.5. We're working with 11.5 here. I don't know if that's going to make a difference for you guys or not, but we're working with Tampa Bay favored by 11.5 points. Who's up?
I'm taking Tampa, bro.
Of course you are.
I'm taking the Falcons. That's a big spread. I think the Bucs are probably gonna maybe look past the Falcons in this game. I think they got the Patriots next week.
Oh my God!
So they might be looking past the Falcons. I'm not saying they're gonna lose to the Falcons, but that's a lot of points.
That is a lot of points.
And they might cover it, man. But I'm going with the Falcons. I just can't do 11.5.
I could fucking do 11.5, dude, and I'm gonna take the fucking Buccaneers, dude. I can see him doing it.
I can see it happening too, but I can't go with them.
They were on the road week 1, right? Tampa.
They were at home.
They opened at home. Okay.
Against Dallas, yeah.
Okay. Either way. Okay. Speaking of Dallas, that's the next game on the slate here. We got the Cowboys at the Chargers. Guys, I want to go first because I got to go take a leak. The Chargers are favored by 2.5 at home. Cowboys almost had the Buccaneers there in week 1. No particular reason. I'm going to take the Cowboys. I'll excuse myself for a minute while you guys make your picks. I'll be right back.
Who are you taking, Tank, and why?
I'm going to take the Chargers because I really believe in Herbert.
I'm taking the Chargers as well. I think
Why?
Dallas just lost DeMarcus. What's his name? DeMarcus
Aldridge.
No, it's not DeMarcus. That's from basketball.
Yeah.
Is it DeMarcus Ware? Anyway, they lost their defensive end to a broken bone in his foot, so he got operated today. So they lost him. He was probably their best defensive player. I think this is going to be a super high-scoring game. I'm going Chargers. Definitely Chargers. 2.5. Although I would love for them to lose, I think they're going to win and cover. Next game up, we got the Titans and the Seahawks. Damn, I didn't pick this one. All right. What's the line on this one? What's the line you got on the Lions and the Seahawks?
Gentlemen,
what's the line on this one? Because I didn't write this one down.
2.5.
Seahawks. Lions and Seahawks. I mean Titans.
Oh, let me get your picks down because I wasn't here. I had taken the Cowboys. Who did you guys take?
We took the Chargers.
So both of you guys are on the Chargers. All right. Next up, Titans and Seahawks. We got the Seahawks favored by 4.5. I realize it says 5.5 there, but we're working with 4.5 here. I was right about this game last week, I think, the Titans game. Anybody want to tackle this one first?
I'm going to take the Titans. I think they do a little bounce back. They might not win, but I think they'll cover. I think it'll be a tighter game.
I'll take the Titans as well, man. I think it's gonna be a close one. Yeah, I think they got it.
You know, I always go, not always, but most of the time, those cross country trips, I take the East Coast team, and this is like the opposite almost. It's not necessarily an East Coast team, but close to the East Coast, Tennessee, right?
Mhm.
Going really far up there in the north corner to face the Seahawks, which I think they're pretty tough at home. I'm going to take the Seahawks in this one. I think Russell Wilson and Seattle will pull it off at home and cover. Okay. The next game is the Chiefs at the Ravens. And I don't know where that game is. It should have been. I don't know why it's not here. Anyways, the Chiefs at the Ravens. The Chiefs are favored by 3.5.
I'm taking the Chiefs.
Doesn't seem like a lot of points for them, right? For
It's
a team
fun.
coming off a loss.
Yeah, it's a real low line.
That's a Sunday night game, right?
Yes.
Maybe they have this game at the top. That's why it's not.
I'll take the Chiefs on this one also.
Okay. Who cares where the game is on the screen? I'm gonna agree with you guys, and I'm gonna take the Chiefs. I think I'm in love with the Chiefs the last few years, if I'm being honest. Okay, and now we got the Monday night game. We've got the Detroit Lions at the Green Bay Packers. How many times have we seen a team favored by 11.5 points the week after they get fucking their door blown off, dude? Isn't that odd?
Yeah.
I'm sure everybody thinks it, right? Everybody thinks, oh, they're going to come back with a vengeance now. You just watch, dude. They're going to unload on the Lions. You know, they're going to take out all their anger and all their fucking frustrations out on the Lions. And you know what? I'm fucking buying into that, dude. I think they're going to do that. I'm going to take the Packers.
I'm going to take the Lions.
I'm going Lions.
Well, we're going to find out something about the Packers for sure, right? In this game.
It's a divisional game. These games tend to be a lot tougher than normal games. These teams know each other. And Detroit, honestly, they were getting blown up by San Francisco, but they made a game of it once they got into the groove.
Dude, that's the picks, guys. We'll save those. We'll check them out. I lost my train of thought. I don't remember what I was going to say.
I'll be right back.
Okay. What the hell was I going to say, dude? I think it had something to do with the Packers, but I don't remember. That's the picks. Let's take a look at the league for a second. Fantasy football. Share the screen. Fantasy football. That's not the league that I want to look at. Let's look at the Johnson League. I mean, I'm up pretty big, but, I'm projected right now to only beat you by 3 points.
It's still a tight game.
Yeah, I mean, you haven't even gotten started, dude. My defense didn't do that great. Only 3 points.
Yeah.
Scary Terry
went off.
Yeah, he went off. 11
I like
catches.
him, man. I like him.
He's a baller, dude. 11 catches, 107 yards, and 1 touchdown. I did lose week 1 in this league.
We all did. We're all 0-1. So one of us is going to be 0-2.
Yeah. Well, all 3 of us, dude. This panel is 0-3 in this league.
All of us lost.
Do you want to look at my other league for a second?
Sure, why not?
That's the Fantasy Gridiron 21. My team is Y'all Some Bitches is the name of my team. I am 1-0.
Nice. Oh, and you're first?
Scored 224 points.
Damn, you scored 224 points.
I did.
That's a lot of scoring in your league.
Yeah, second place was 165. I don't want to toot my own horn, but you know who's not 1-0 in my league?
The bum.
The bum, which is the Hialeah Sewer Rats. Now, I don't know if he's watching or not.
Dude, you got 90 on him.
Yeah, I got 90 on him. And shout out to 90, by the way. I was thinking about this. Obviously, the bum famously did not call me when the draft was going on. But I went into the archives, or as my old friend when I worked at Barnett Bank and later Nations Bank and later Bank of America would call it the archives. Shout out to Danny. He would call it the archives. They're really archives. In his last 27 games, he's 11-16, and he's missed the season. He's missed the playoffs, missed the postseason. So 11-16, last 27 games across 3 seasons. That's a 40 win percentage. I'm beginning to understand why he didn't tell me about the draft. The guy needs every advantage he can get. But there is a such thing as a reckoning, and there is a such thing as karma. And she's a bitch, just like people who don't tell you about the draft. So there you go. I understand why he did it, but this is what you get.
All I gotta say is,
let it go.
You have a lot of time on your hands to be getting all these stats, and
hey,
it really gnawed at you.
I'm a non-threatening team, according to him. But for 3 years running, I'm the leading scorer in the league. So I don't know. You take a look at those two ends of the spectrum there.
And then you started out big this year. Keep it going.
Yeah.
Do you mind going to your team, and I want to see who went off?
Sure. Let's.
I know you had Tyreek Hill.
This was my matchup. This is a rematch of the Super Bowl. I lost the Super Bowl to this guy.
So who did you have?
My team is on the left here.
It's hard to see.
Okay.
Oh,
Mahomes, Amari Cooper.
Oh, Debo.
Chenault Jr., he had 13 points. Is this Mark Davis, the running back? Mike Davis. McCaffrey had 27. Waller had 27. Damian Harris had 12. Young Ho Koo, 6. And my Carolina defense had 9.
Damn, you went off.
I did. I think this is one of my highest scoring games of all time.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest about it. But there you go.
Nice.
That's the bum.
I was 3-3 in my 6 leagues.
3-3 in your Jesus Christ, that's a lot of fucking leagues, bro.
I was 3-3, and the 3 that I won, I was the highest scoring in each one. And one league I lost because Ayuk got me 0, or else I would have probably won. I just needed 8, and another one I lost by 2 points, and the other one I lost by 10. So I actually did good in all 3, in all 6.
That's a lot of leagues.
Yeah, it's the most I've ever done. It's a lot to keep up with.
How many of these leagues are people you know, or how many are there just like
people I know? Pretty much. There's one league that I don't know anybody. There's one league that I know one person, and then the other leagues are pretty much I know the people.
Let me go back to the Dolphins game real quick before we move out of sports and stuff. Just a couple observations on the Dolphins game. Some of them I already gave you. We've won 2 of our past 3 games at New England now. The other one being the 27-24 Thriller 2019 season finale. It's the first time Miami has won twice in a 3-game span at New England since the Dolphins won consecutive trips in 99-2000. So it's basically the first time this century, you could say, that we've done that. We have had relatively good success playing at home, but now we're doing it on the road too. So hopefully those are some trends we could continue. Who's gonna follow me down the 9/11 rabbit hole now?
I'll see you guys later.
Siémelo bueno. You guys out? All right. Peace. You don't like this subject, right, Hialeah?
I don't dislike it. I just, you know me.
I do know you. Do you have that shirt around, Jonas? You still have
Yeah,
a shirt?
dude, I fucking forgot to give it.
All right. These are, I'm not going to say anything. These are just, to use your words, Hialeah, things that make you go, about 9/11.
Actually, that's CNC Music Factory.
I know, but you like to use it.
Yeah.
You like to use it quite a bit.
That and how convenient.
Yeah. A lot of these things make you go home and are very convenient. One, the passport or passports that they found. These came out of buildings that flew into a fireball, melted steel, and then those pesky passports, only if the buildings and the black boxes would have been made out of the same material as those passports. How do those passports survive? That one's fishy. Would you agree? It's interesting or no?
I do, dude. That's the one that gets me, bro.
It's just weird.
That's the one that makes me question.
The past. I'm not so hung up on it. I mean, one of the passports was given by a guy in a suit to a FBI agent, and then nobody stopped him, and nobody nothing. I don't know, dude. It's
hey,
weird.
here you go, dude. There's a passport. I'm out.
Yeah,
and I'm dressed like an FBI agent.
It's very convenient.
Yeah, all right. It's weird. The other thing that's weird, and I think this happened in all three buildings, right before the collapse, I think of all three buildings, like a loud explosion. If that's true, I'm not a fucking architect, but it seems weird.
Wouldn't they be making a ton of fucking noise? And couldn't it not be mistaken for an explosion? And two, a lot of people say that they were detonated. Nobody's gonna see these people loading up explosives into the freaking building because it's a very technical thing to do that. It's not, just.
Well, the way that the theory goes, and yes, I understand what you're saying. The way that the theory goes is not that they went in and exploded them after, but that this was set up in advance and the explosives were already there and they were gonna go off.
But nobody saw that either?
Weeks before?
Yeah. I mean
you're in a building that I think floors of the building were rented out to certain companies. One of the floors had like a bunch of servers on it, supposedly, that were never turned on. Again, you don't know the stuff you read online. I'll be the first to admit it. You don't know who wrote it or when it was written, or you know what I mean? But that's one of the things that's floated out there. One of them was a Japanese company that on one of the floors, they had nothing but these black servers and they were never turned on. And it was near the impact zone.
But who's is there any valid thing to this? What's up, Remo?
We don't know. What up, Remo? We got a link in the chat, man. If anybody wants to hop on, just hit the link in the chat. What are you asking now, Hialeah? Say that again.
I don't know.
You said who's
saying this about the Japanese thing? And
I don't remember where I read that. Maybe look it up. Look it up, Tank, if you can. Servers on World Trade Center from a Japanese company that had the whole floor.
Doesn't mean there was explosives though.
What they're saying in that article I read was they don't know what they were. They were never turned on. There was talk about thermite too. I don't know if you ever heard any of this stuff. Thermite. It's one of the not a fucking chemist either, so. But apparently that's one of the things that could fuck up steel like that. The towers were made to withstand impact from a plane. Another one that gets me too is all that money that was missing that Rumsfeld announced the day before, and then that nobody ever talked about that ever again because 9/11 dominated the news cycle. Yeah, there was smoke coming out for a long time, dude, from those fires. I'm sure you could see the smoke, and I know. Have you guys seen Tower 7 collapse?
No.
You never seen it? Let me see if I can pull it up.
No, I don't believe I have.
Have you ever seen it collapse? Hank?
What, one of the Twin Towers?
It collapsed later, right?
Tower 7.
Like 7 hours later or something. It was burning or something.
Yeah, it was not hit directly by anything.
Do you know how many people were in there, or they are evacuated?
I am not 100% on that.
I'll look it up.
But dude, look at that. I'm not saying it is.
I'm not saying it is, but it sure does look like a demolition, don't it?
Sure does look like when they would blow up those old stadiums and hotels.
But can I? That building that just fell in Miami fell a lot like that.
Did it? Let's take a look. What was the name? Champlain Towers?
Yeah.
Let's see if I can find one. That was a partial collapse.
Yeah, it was a partial. I think it was what, 2/3 of it fell.
Man, there was some videos of it, but I can't seem to find any right now.
It's all right.
It was something similar, but not a complete collapse.
Of course not.
Yeah.
But people are even saying that. I've heard that rumor too.
Well, they did take it down eventually.
No, I understand that, but I'm saying people were saying that after the collapse. It looks like it was freaking planned, People are always gonna talk shit. I mean, how is a building supposed to fall like that, like this? Usually they just go down because of gravity.
Well, what happened in the surf side? It was a foundation
It was
issue.
the foundation, exactly.
The Twin
Right.
Towers got hit up top.
Yeah, but
this one didn't get hit anywhere.
Yeah, that one didn't get anywhere. I imagine something had to have hit it because they say there was fires there that brought it down.
Yeah, and debris flew
And
into
debris maybe caused fires, and after like 7 hours, those fires went unattended, and that's what brought it down.
Yeah, it was supposedly shit that flew off the other towers or part
Right.
of the planes that flew off all the other towers landed. They always talk about the temperature too, that the temperature couldn't be great enough. I don't know. I'm not studying every single one of these points I'm making. I'm just saying these are weird things. A real weird thing was there was an early reporting in the BBC. You could fact check me on this one.
I saw this. I know what you're saying.
The BBC reported before the building collapsed that it did collapse.
Mm-hmm.
And then conspiracy theories have latched onto that it was kind of premeditated and the media already had kind of the spiel, and that they blew it by reporting before it happened that it actually happened. Which, whatever you want to believe about it, it is pretty fucking weird. Yes or no?
It is.
It makes you go,
Yeah.
Hmm.
The Pentagon one, I also now we all know the famous images of the planes crashing into the towers, right? It's they're like turning, they're trying to hit their spot, right? It doesn't look like any of them make like 100% clean impact. The way one of them's off to the side a little bit, dude. The one to hit the Pentagon, you gotta be really precise, dude. You gotta be flying in not just low, but not low enough where you hit the ground before you get to it or pass it and hit something else. Like that had to be so perfect. That one was tough.
It didn't land like this.
Mm-mm.
It came in normal.
It came in. There's footage of it. Maybe I could find it. For years, there wasn't footage of it. Which I also thought was weird. Pentagon hit by plane 9/11. Maybe we'll get a hit with that. There's like one video.
Yeah, and it's like chopped. Like it's frame by frame. That's the one that I've seen.
You can look it up on your own time, guys. There's one video, but the point I'm making is like that had to be like the best pilot to be able to do that. Because the degree of difficulty there, I think, was way harder than hitting the towers. You have some room for error on the towers. On the Pentagon, it's a small building. If you go too early, too low, you're hitting before. If you don't, you're going over, and again, there was very little footage about that. The Flight 93 is also, there's some weird stuff about that one. That's the one that came down in the field. Very little debris on that one. A lot of people will say that one got shot down, which there was, I think, Vice President Satan, what's his name? Dick Cheney. He said he had given the order to shoot it down, but that they never got the order.
But there's been planes that have been shot down and there's a ton of debris.
Yeah, I guess. How many commercial airliners have been shot down, though?
The one that the Russians shot down a few years back, there was a freaking ton of debris.
Which one was that? I'm not familiar.
Dude, it was maybe 5 years, maybe it's been longer, and they shot it down with some missiles. Because it was
why?
It was flying over their space or some shit, and they killed a ton of civilians. It was just an airliner.
And where was it coming from?
I don't remember, man. I don't remember.
Tank, see if you can find anything on that one. I'm not.
The Russians shot that down, and there was a ton of debris. So just because something gets shut down doesn't mean there's no debris.
Well, the thing about this one was there was some debris, but it was so far apart that's where people say it looks weird. Like it's not in one area. Like a piece was found miles away, another piece mile away.
That happens, dude.
Which is more consistent with something getting blown up high and then spreading than something crashing and then spreading. This one I didn't even know about. Gopher 06.
What's that?
It's a C-130 plane, which is a military plane.
Oh, the one that saw both of them?
The one that saw both of them, dude.
Yeah.
It saw a Pentagon and this one in the field. That's fucking weird, bro. I'm sorry. That's extremely weird that it was in the right place in the right time to be able to witness both of those fucking things. It's seems improbable, or it could just be another coincidence.
Look what Remo said.
Mm-hmm.
It got shot, he said.
Yeah, the one.
I used to fly that red eye from San Francisco to New York, New Jersey, and I was on that flight a week prior. Jesus Christ. There was a lot of close calls. You guys remember any of those close calls? Like
Yeah,
famous people and shit?
Yeah, that they didn't go to work that day. That, you know.
How convenient.
Michael Jackson was supposed to go to a meeting at the World Trade Center that day, and he stayed up late, like talking to his mom or something, and then like ended up canceling or not making it. Mark Wahlberg.
Mm-hmm.
He was supposed to be on one of the planes that I believe.
I've heard that one, yeah.
Yeah. His friend Seth MacFarlane was supposed to be on one of them too. They got hung over or something and missed the flight or something. And I don't remember if there was any other close calls like that. What do you guys think about those hijackers, dude? What do you think they're, other than obviously being fucking crazy? What do you think? They were just like so down for the cause that they were willing to do that?
Yeah, I don't think they're crazy. I think they just believed in their cause and they were willing to do. It's like a suicide bomber. Sometimes they get threatened into do it, and they're gonna meet Allah if they do it and all that. Doesn't mean they're crazy. They're just brainwashed. You know, they're so much for their cause. You know, it's like kamikaze pilots. You know, they're so much for their cause, and it's not something we haven't seen before. We don't understand it. It's kind of weird for us, but is it?
Well, there was two planes. Well, this is another thing I find weird. There was two fighter planes that were scrambled, and they were going to go after this Flight 93, the one that landed in the field. According to the story, there was not enough time to put missiles on the planes, and they agreed to do a kamikaze mission if necessary and fly their jets into the plane. And they were going to try to eject at the last minute, but it was basically a suicide mission, and they accepted. I found it odd, not that part. I found it odd that the U.S. doesn't have armed airplanes on standby.
I bet you they do now.
I bet you they do now, but Jesus Christ, it's hard to believe that you don't have it ready already.
I read something on it, and I don't think they had a ton of planes that were capable at that moment, like you're saying, on standby to go. You know,
Seems like a failure.
yeah. I think we got caught with our pants down, dude. At the end of the day, that's what I believe.
Our pants or underwear, and we were bending over, and our floor on the floor.
And they found a weakness, and that's what sometimes happens to make you better or worse.
Yeah, it's hard to put a finger on some of these guys with, like, if they were, I always hear like, oh, they were promised virgins in the afterlife and all this stuff. But then these guys like to apparently go to strip clubs and do drugs, coke, get high, get whores.
But look at our televangelists. They're always having affairs with the people in the flock and all this. And forgive me, I have sinned.
But they're not killing themselves.
But they're not perfect either. That they're talking one thing and then they're having affairs and fucking everything in sight. And these guys are the same way. They go to the strip clubs.
The televangelist one makes sense. This one, I'm like, are they that religious then if they're doing all this shit? Or why are they? Maybe their family is in danger and they have to do this shit. Like the main guy, Muhammad Atta, remember that guy? The one we would see the picture of the most?
Yeah.
His dad denied it for the longest time. He even said he talked to him after. And then the Saudi thing is suspicious. That all these guys were Saudis, and then like they withheld so many records. They released some on 9/11 now, trying to downplay or deny the ties that all these hijackers had, because it did take a lot of money. Yes, it was done. That operation was done relatively cheap compared to anything that we spent. I don't know how many times more in the response to the attacks.
Oh,
to what it cost to do the attacks, but still, it took money to do the attacks. You had to have all these guys here, all these guys,
It took planning. It definitely took a lot of planning.
and some money too.
Yeah.
It wasn't, they had to go to flight school. These people had to live here. They took a bunch of flights, to study the situation. James Woods was one that said he was on a plane. The actor he's an ultra right wing guy. He swore he was on a plane with some of these guys before, and even reported suspicious activity, but they kind of downplayed it and didn't really heed any of his Another thing I didn't know was a lot of these firefighters and first responder guys that worked in Ground Zero. The lung cancer makes sense because there was a lot of fucking shit, and asbestos, I think, even floating around. A lot of these dudes have dementia now, and they're not exactly sure what the tie-in is with that. Do you remember seeing a lot of the jumpers on the coverage when you saw the coverage, Hialeah?
I saw it afterwards. They would show videos of it.
Yeah, but there wasn't really like on the main stream media.
No. But,
and for years it disappeared.
I remember when that song came out, let the bodies hit the floor. There was a lot of fallback on that song, and people were not happy with that song.
What do you think about Every Day?
9/11, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's crazy. He says he saw them as they were happening. Yeah, I didn't see that until. Remember, there was that one famous shot.
The falling man.
Oh my God, that's
that guy, right?
Yeah.
Now you think that this picture is him like falling straight down, but it's actually just like he's kind of in a tumble, and the guy just happened to capture the image at that moment. Okay, that's not a real picture there. That's a real picture. Damn. You're just burning, dude, right? And you've made a choice where I'm not going to burn to death. I'll jump. That's basically the choice, right?
Yep.
Okay, that one's graphic. Yeah, the attacks, I also saw them. It's just a lot of shit, a lot of fucked up shit, dude, that happened. Some of those guys got a visa so easy. Some of them got a visa without even doing an appointment, with no security checks, which obviously that shit will never happen again today. But on a lighter side, did you know that Steve Buscemi stepped in as a New York firefighter for like a week or two?
I think I remember hearing that.
Because he was like a former Brooklyn or something firefighter. But yeah, shout out to Steve Buscemi, dude. He's a fucking patriot, dude. What else? They were supposed to have a meeting at the World Trade Center about terrorist prevention, and it was postponed the day of the attacks. You mentioned it before. It's not the first time that they tried to do something at the World Trade Center. There was a bomb.
They put the bomb in the parking garage. I think it was 93, 92, something like that.
Yeah.
I think, and that was Osama bin Laden as well, I believe. I think
no,
he was behind it, but somebody else they caught somebody else, and that guy went to jail. And I believe that guy's still in jail, or he got, I believe.
Yeah, that was a different dude. There's like some loose ties
and all that. Yeah. But they didn't go. I think Osama bin Laden was involved, and they didn't go after him.
He had already issued some of those. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right. Fatwa, which is like a statement, that that he's going to do something and he's against what they're doing and he doesn't like them being in the Middle East. So he was already like on their fucking radar, you know? A fucked up thing that happened was after the first plane hit the North Tower, people in the South Tower wanted to leave, but they were told by announcement to stay at their desks, and some people who tried to leave were turned back by security at the exit. That's fucked up, dude. I don't understand how they wouldn't just evacuate everything all around. Some of those people didn't have to die. Then I've also heard of some situation where people fake being a survivor. Have you heard of this thing? There was a couple famous ones that they like pretended to be 9/11 survivors. You ever heard of this?
I haven't.
Yeah. Probably the same people who, like that Jesse Smollett guy. You ever heard of that guy?
Sounds familiar.
He's the guy who staged like being attacked by some MAGA followers.
Yeah.
In Chicago, and they were wearing like beanies with a MAGA hat on top, which is like kind of ridiculous. Like, who wears a beanie with then like a MAGA hat on top? It's probably like those same type of people, right? That do shit like that. I guess Hialeah didn't like all this 9/11 talk, dude. He took off.
He looks frozen at the end.
Oh, okay. There you are. Dude, the guy, talk about a bad day on your fucking first day on the job. The guy who was the chief of the air traffic control operations, that was his first day on the job. He had to deal with all this, and he's the guy who made the call to ground 4,000 plus airplanes on that day. That's crazy. U.S. government had to pay an average of $1.8 million to the families of the victims of 9/11. Big Remo sharing a personal story here. My boy was on the 96th floor in the second tower, and when the first tower was hit, they thought it was an earthquake, and his office manager told him, "Get the fuck out of here." I assume there's another message coming after this. I'm assuming he got out, Remo. Here's the numbers. I was talking about this earlier, guys. They spent $500,000 executing the 9/11 attacks. The U.S. government has spent up to $5 trillion with a T fighting back. We're spending about $400 million per life saved. And the thing about this thing is that there's added victims as the years go by. You know, people die of cancer, people die of different things that somehow are tied in to some of these things. Fuji Bank is the one I was talking about earlier. There were the tentative floors 79 to 78. Some reports they can't provide descriptions of the contents on there. So what percent are you, Hialeah?
Of what?
Of there being more to the story. Let's rephrase the story. Let's rephrase the question. More to the story than we know. Let's start small.
I'll say 20%.
There's 20% more than we know.
Yeah.
Jesse Ventura is a hardcore one. All right, 9/11 is a fucking weird one. Can we agree on that at least? It's a fucking weird one.
Dude, it seems like almost everything that's major is a weird one. I mean, Pearl Harbor, the sinking of the Maine is still in debate. There's a ton of shit. Almost every big thing.
But what's weird? What are the conspiracies on Pearl Harbor?
That we knew and we let it happen.
So we can retaliate.
Yeah. So we
and
could
test out our atomic weapons.
So we could get called into. We needed that to get into the war.
Well, we were already in, right? Or that was
No, that made us get in.
That pushed us in full.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the timeline. I'm not a history buff with this shit. Like, where does Normandy tie in?
Normandy is when we were already in the war. That was to take over when we. I guess it was not our first major, but it was the invasion of Europe.
That's D-Day, right?
Yeah.
But when did Pearl Harbor happen in relation to that?
I think it was 43.
Pearl Harbor was December 7th, 1941.
Okay.
Normandy, I believe, was 43. Maybe.
And the bomb?
The bomb was 45, 44, 45.
Okay, so that's the progression.
D-Day was 44.
D-Day was 44, so the bomb was what, 45?
It had to be 45, yeah, at the end.
So it took us 3 years after Pearl Harbor to get in?
No, we were already in, but that was like the major invasion. We were already fighting. We got into it right after Pearl Harbor.
Okay.
But that was like a major offensive, which was Normandy with all the allies.
Very weird. Anybody see let's shift gears from this, unless you guys have anything else you want to talk about this. Anybody see the 30 for 30 with the Mets?
Man, I want to see it. I caught a little bit of it and I stopped myself from watching. It looks so good.
I heard good things about it.
I can't wait to watch it. I saw a little snippet with Gooden and it was nuts. Just a little 2 minutes that I heard and I was like, oh, I can't wait to see this.
It's like a 4-parter, right?
I think it's even more than 4 parts. It seems like it's a ton of parts. I can't wait to watch it. I can't wait. I started watching Wu-Tang, an American Saga today, and it's pretty interesting.
What's that on?
It's on the beginnings of the Wu-Tang Clan, although it's a lot of it's fabricated,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Where can you watch that?
I'm sorry?
Where can you watch that?
On Hulu. I started watching it today. It's very entertaining. I saw the first 2 episodes and it's good.
Is that the one that was released a couple years ago, or?
Yeah, it got released in 2019, the season 1, but actually season 2 just dropped a couple of weeks ago. So,
Old Dirty Bastard's kind of the main guy who.
No, he's been portrayed already there. They introduced the characters, and the guy that plays him is great, but he's had a very small part so far.
I always thought he was like the guy, the ringleader that put them all together, and.
I don't know how true. I don't think this show is accurate. I think it's got a lot of stuff that's fabricated, but it's 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 fun. It's a fun watch so far. It's interesting.
Yeah, I might want to watch that Mets one. Going back to that Mets one, dude. Those
Yeah,
kids were going.
I'll watch that.
A lot of fucking drugs.
A lot of cocaine.
A lot of good 80s cocaine. A lot of good fucking ball players.
Yeah, Raza's I think he's actually the one behind the show.
Yeah, I always thought it was. I heard that somewhere that he was that fucking ODB was like kind of the guy who initially put them together. I don't think he was like the mastermind of all the ins and out, but I could be wrong about that.
They're not portraying him that way on the show, that's for sure.
Okay. I heard that before. Dude, one thing, this is not fucking relatively new news, but I kind of started reading about it recently. I thought it was fucking interesting. This back to the fentanyl, it seems to always come back. Did you guys remember hearing about that pitcher from the Angels that died, Tyler Skaggs?
Yeah, and the guy that was selling it to him was an Angels somebody in the organization, right?
Yeah, it was like a telecommunications guy
Yeah.
that worked for the Angels. Was kind of like his connect,
Yeah,
and he was buying the shit like on offer up and shit like that, and then passing it along to him
and other players, right?
and like 5 other players, dude.
Yeah,
And the Angels have kind of been like, hey, this is like a rogue guy, and you really don't hear about it too much. Like MLB has really kind of fucking put the wraps on it pretty well. You don't hear about it that much, but the family is suing this guy for that now. Jesus Christ, dude, fentanyl's fucking dangerous, dude. Like, I'm sure that this guy didn't even know that that's what he was taking when he died.
or maybe he did.
Then he could have just blown his head off, I guess. He could have just committed suicide because
People get addicted, man, and then they can't control it.
Most of them are accidental. There's a couple of rappers that died from that. The dealers were cutting the shit with fentanyl.
your mic's like all the way like
Oh shit!
there you go.
Is that accidental or is that murder?
That's what they sue for. Like it's accidental of yourself. You don't know you're taking fentanyl. It's not.
But is it that anytime you're taking something from somebody in the street? Yeah, lace pills.
Here's the thing, dude. It's not like you drank a Gatorade and you died.
No, I understand that.
Yeah. No, I'm agreeing with you. It's like these people already they're doing illicit.
You're taking a chance. You're taking a chance.
You're buying some shit. Again, maybe this guy trusted this other guy, and this other guy's making like a living, maybe.
But that guy's also a middleman too. He's probably not making it. He's just selling it.
Well, let's think about this for a second. I don't know what this guy's salary was. He was a telecommunication guy for the Angels. I don't know his salary. But you're dealing with like 5 multimillionaire players who are obviously probably addicts at this point if they're buying them shit from you. He's probably making some pretty fucking good money off of them, just buying them from here. They trust him, but then this guy's buying shit from offer up and shit like that and giving people free tickets to the game, and come meet me at the stadium, I'll give you some free tickets. It's just Jesus fucking Christ, dude. I'm it's a tragedy, yes, but I'm also like, can this family really sue the Angels for somebody who was doing drugs that was buying them from?
Yeah, it's not like they were endorsing it,
Right. It's not like the Angels was like, hey, free fentanyl day today with a ticket.
Exactly.
Some guy worked at the team that was doing some shady shit. They didn't know about it. The thing that they did know about is that this guy supposedly had drug problems before. K is the guy's name.
But that doesn't mean he's a freaking pusher and a dealer. And, there's a ton of people that have had drug problems and they rehabilitate, kick the habit, and become upstanding citizen. It doesn't mean they're, you're not going to hire them. They're not, they're unhireable forever.
Yes, what they're saying is that guy shouldn't have had access to the players. That's their angle in the lawsuit, at least,
Yeah. I think it's going to be a tough one. I think they'll settle. I believe they'll settle.
Yeah, they want it to go away. They have a lot of money. They'll, cynics will say, this guy's not going to make any more money. The family wants to get some more money.
Mm-hmm. Like Hugo Remo's saying acid. How haven't you guys heard? There's rat poison in it. That's been, I've heard that ever since. Acid has rat poison in it, but people still take it.
I mean, more than ever now, that old 80s slogan, I don't remember exactly what it was. Basically, drugs kill, right? Is basically what it was. It's
this is your brain on acid, and then they and you see the 2 eggs frying.
Well, it's never been more true than today. You know, that Jesus Christ, you know, you're taking a real fucking gamble, dude. You know,
But it's always been a gamble.
it just seems like
It's worse
nowadays. It's more of a gamble than ever.
than
you
ever.
know? I mean, we talked about that story about those comedians in California and that party, and 3 of them died, and one of them, you know, a girl, you know, pulled through. And there's a lot of other cases too. Tank mentioned a couple. Do you know any of the rappers' names?
Yeah, Lil Peep, he overdosed on some
And
shit
died.
that,
He died?
yeah, it was cut with fentanyl, and Mac Miller.
That's right. Mac Miller was a big one. And supposedly it's to get more out of your, to cut it so you
Yeah,
get
it's
more.
cutting it.
But you don't know how much ends up on.
Right, they're not fucking chemists.
Yeah, you're not doing it under FDA guidelines.
Even then, you know, we'd have to.
Are we doing trivia?
Oh, that's right, dude. Let's do it.
I'm gonna head out after the trivia.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
just
think
have
we'll-
like one other thing I wanted to talk about after the trivia, and that's it.
Oh, fuck. Give me a second.
Yeah.
Shit.
Rest in peace, dude, to fucking Norm Macdonald, dude.
Bro, he battled the cancer for 9 years, man.
There's that famous bit that he had about it too.
Oh, I don't remember that.
He said, I'm paraphrasing here because I'm not a comedian, and he was one of the best of all time. But basically, he was like, "Hey, man, you know, they talk about, you know, oh, this guy's been battling cancer for all these years, and he finally lost this battle to cancer." And he was like, "What the fuck, man? This guy's a loser. The last thing you're gonna remember him for is that he lost the battle with cancer. You know, last time I checked, the cancer dies too when you die. So pretty much, I consider that a draw. You didn't really fucking lose." And that was kind of funny. He left that joke, and it's a good joke, and you know, it applies to him too. I found he's kind of crazy. He seemed off, but fucking very fast timing with the jokes and improv. Oh, Jesus Christ. Improvisational improv, you know, like he could improvise jokes really well, dude. Fucking funny guy.
I love his Burt Reynolds impersonation. It was so good. It was hilarious.
I don't think I could even attempt a Burt Reynolds.
He was so good, dude.
Do you do any impersonations?
Me? No.
Yeah. None?
No. No.
Tank? You got any impersonations
No.
in the tank?
I could impersonate people if like, but I can't do it like now.
Like the voice. I'm talking about like the voice, right? Obviously, that's
Yeah, that's hard. That's a gift.
yeah.
Yeah, he was in Billy Madsen.
He was the pigeon in fucking Mike Tyson Mysteries. You guys never watched Mike Tyson Mysteries?
No, I never heard of it.
Really? It's
Yeah.
fucking funny, dude. It's kind of like a spoof on Scooby Doo, and then Mike Tyson's like the main guy, and they
No, I
like,
never heard of it. Where's that?
oh my god, it's an older show. I think it was Adult Swim, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
And you could still,
Yeah, you could look that up.
yeah, you could watch it on YouTube or something. But he's fucking funny in that one. He plays a pigeon. It's an animated show.
I'm ready if you guys are.
Okay, the trivia today is animals. Let me make sure I put Hialeah's score here so he doesn't get poopy pants on me. 0-0.
All right. Let's start off. Which mammal is known to have the most powerful bite in the world?
An alligator.
No.
It's not an alligator? I thought you had it. Okay, repeat the question.
I said mammal.
Mammal. Oh, you said mammal.
Oh, you're gonna give him hints too?
Well, that's why I just told them to repeat the question. Animal?
Is there a timer on this thing or something?
Let's say a tiger.
A hippo.
That makes sense.
What object does a male penguin often give to a female penguin to win her over?
A rock.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say a CGC 9.8.
That's what I give you.
You've never given me one.
I will.
Still waiting
It's coming.
for that A-OK.
It's coming.
That's what she said. Yo, shout out to fucking Ben, dude, for fucking calling in, dude.
Who has the most rushing touchdowns?
A zebra.
How long is an elephant pregnant before it gives birth?
2 years.
No.
18 months.
No. 22 months.
We were right there, dude.
Yeah, you both are right there.
That's a long fucking pregnancy, dude. They probably don't even know, right? Like for a long time, they're walking around pregnant. They don't even fucking
I
realize
think
it.
they know. I think they start showing after 2 months.
What are the only two mammals? What are the only two mammals? What?
What?
I'm gonna read it exactly how it is. What are the only two mammals are the only ones known to lay eggs? What are the only two mammals known to lay eggs?
Damn, there's two.
So that means we got to get both of them right, or are we getting a half point if we get at least one?
All right, sure, half point.
Platypus.
You have half.
Penguin.
No.
And the other mammal.
Hold on. I haven't.
Yeah, you guys can try one more.
So platypus is one.
Yeah.
Damn.
The only mammals to lay eggs. Fuck.
I'm gonna say a shrew.
No.
Yeah, I'm blank.
I'll throw out a wild guess. An ostrich.
Fucking. Where's anteater?
Okay.
Jesus Christ. We never got that one.
All right. Why are flamingos pink?
Fuck.
Because of the veins in their body.
It's from an algae. It's from an algae that they eat.
Yes.
Is that like the legit answer?
Because of their diet of algae, shrimps, and crustaceans.
Okay, that's legit.
A dog sweats through which part of its body?
Mouth.
No.
Saliva.
No, that's not a part of the body.
That's not the part. What is it?
The paws.
Really?
My dog sweats through his mouth, okay? 100%.
How far away can a wolf smell its prey?
2 miles.
Yes.
That was a great answer. That's what I was gonna say.
But you didn't.
but I didn't. You're right.
That was a lucky guess, dude.
That was a good guess.
I guess 2 miles because I know Panthers have a 2-mile radius to hunt, and I just kind of went with that.
This one's pretty fun. I would know it. What color is the tongue of a giraffe?
Black.
No.
Purple.
Yes.
Why is that fun?
I don't know. You guys never fed the giraffes at the zoo, man?
There's too much of a line, dude. I never really fucking wanted to wait in it.
I've never done it. I've
I'm
seen
not big on the
pictures, though.
lines.
Ooh, this one's good. What animal is known to spend 90% of its day sleeping?
A cat.
No. Don't say your cats.
A sloth.
My cat's.
No. I thought it would be a sloth too. It's koalas.
Mm.
It was not far off. On the sloth.
Which animal stripes are on their skin as well as on their fur?
Zebra.
No.
Tigers.
Yes.
My second guess was going to be cheetah. But I don't think they have stripes.
No, they don't.
You
They
know,
have dots.
Spots.
Spots.
you know why you can't play cards in the jungle?
Wait, is this part of the trivia or is that a joke?
No, it's a joke.
Oh.
There's too many cheetahs.
It's also why you can't play Tom Brady.
Yep.
And the Patriots or the Buccaneers.
Did
Did you see that they were talking about him having an earpiece in the game?
Don't
Yeah.
they all have earpieces in the game?
No, you have it on your helmet. You don't have an actual earpiece
Oh,
into your ear. It ain't, I saw the picture, dude. As much as I'd love to say it looked like an earpiece, I didn't see anything.
How long does it take a sloth to digest a meal?
24 hours.
18 hours.
2 weeks.
Oh my God. They do everything slow.
Yeah. What is the name of the fastest land animal?
Cheetah.
Yeah.
And I said it so fast, just like them. You knew that, Hialeah, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. A baby goat is called what?
Kid.
A buck.
Yes, kid.
Fuck, I should have known that one, dude. A buck is like already like a juvenile, right?
I don't know.
A buck is a deer.
Goats are also bucks.
Dude, are we gonna give him a redemption?
I'll give you the belt, dude.
You give up?
I mean, I'll take a redemption if it's offered, but I'm down by
Yeah, it's not
3.5.
it's not like we're tied.
Well, in beer pong, a redemption means actually what a redemption is. You have to make all the cups without missing one, and then you win.
So, like, if I
If
can
you-
answer
If you can answer the next,
4 in a row,
yeah.
I'll try.
What is the only mammal that's able to fly?
There's like this little fucking squirrel thing, I think.
No.
Or is it a bat? I don't know. Or it's something else.
Well, what's your answer?
I mean, you already said no, like fucking.
Okay.
Is it a bat?
Yes.
It's a bat.
I said a bat. I said it's either or a bat. So
What's a group of kittens called?
a litter?
A Kindle.
A Kindle? Like the fucking thing you read from Amazon?
Yeah.
Oh wow. All right, I lost. Do you have bonus questions?
Yeah.
Go. Let's learn about fucking animals.
How do sea otters keep from drifting apart while they sleep?
They like give each other little hugs?
They
They
hold
don't-
out, they tie themselves to seek help.
They hold hands.
Mm.
Yeah, like that's what I was saying. Like
They hold paws.
What is the only mammal that can't jump?
That can't jump. The sloth.
It's the elephant.
they cannot. They're not capable of jumping. Interesting.
How far can a skunk spray?
Dude, probably like fucking 20 feet, I would guess.
20 feet's my guess. That's what I was going to say as well.
10.
I overestimated their spray.
What animal is covered in quills?
Porcupine.
Yes. I was slow on the draw there.
What kind of turtle can't retract into its shell?
A Galapagos turtle. The giant turtle. The tortoise. The Galapagos tortoise.
It's one of the ocean ones, right?
Yeah, sea turtles.
Yeah.
Oh, sea turtles. Okay.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever think of going to the dry tortugas?
That's in the Keys, ain't it?
Yeah, you always see like the advertisements when you're on the Keys and shit. It's that old fort that's like off the coast of Key West, but it's like super expensive, dude. Like you can only go there by boat or airplane, and the boat takes like 2.5 hours each way. The plane takes 45 minutes, but the boat's like $200 and the plane's like $300.
Yeah, it's a lot of money, dude.
Yeah, that's why I've never done it. But I'm always like, it'd probably be
What's there? A fort?
It's an old fort, which it's weird, dude. They built this fort because it was a strategic point, but they didn't really use it much. And it's one of the biggest brick buildings in this hemisphere. They also used it as a prison at one point.
Why do frogs croak?
They're mating?
To find a mate.
They actually kept some of the guys that killed Link, or some of the suspects, I think, that were involved in the Lincoln assassination here. Beautiful place.
Right? Beautiful.
They do say it's kind of rat infested.
That's weird.
That it's rat infested?
Yeah.
I think it has to do with like the old ships, would always have rats on them and shit.
Yeah.
So probably some of them got off on the original ships and just like they've never been able to fucking eradicate them.
Yeah, but what would they eat?
I mean, there's people there now, so I don't know. It looks like a cool place, but fuck, it's fucking expensive, dude.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
I have a friend that's looking to buy a prop plane. Maybe we'll get charged less.
Maybe we'll die. I'd want to have 2 props, just in case. Or one of those planes that can land in the water. There it is, see?
Okay.
Pretty fucking far.
Yeah, it's out there.
But cool place.
Seems like it's in a spot where it's going to get hit by a lot of hurricanes.
Probably. I never hear too much about... Oh, there's great snorkeling there if you like that too.
Yeah, the waters look beautiful, dude.
Yeah. You could actually camp out. So like if you do the boat or the plane, you could camp out overnight there. But with those fucking rats, I don't know if you're going to want to do that. All right, guys. Anything else on the agenda before we get out of here?
You got a theme for the trivia next week?
Oh, I get to pick, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go baseball. Have we done baseball yet?
No.
Not specifically.
It has been back and forth for a while now.
Yep.
I know there's been rumors that he won back to back, but that was a long time ago. And maybe we'll watch the movie finally, everybody.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah, long ago.
It was before we started picking the topics, wasn't it?
I
Yeah.
think so. So you're saying it almost doesn't even count, right?
No, it counts.
Oh.
Oh, it counts. It probably counts even more.
I don't know about all that shit.
Oh, it counts more. So we're doing baseball?
Yeah.
Sounds
100%.
good. Sounds good.
All right, guys. Thanks to Ben. Thanks to you guys. Thanks to everybody in the chat.
Peace.
And let's play some low music and get out of here. If I can do it. Man of action figures.
Iron Man.
Young Bucks, old goats. Peace. 9/11 was an inside job.